Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for June 13th, 2020. With your hosts, Peacebaker2448, Rapid Epsilon, and Tommy Gun 2442.
Hello.
Hello. We got stuff to talk about.
I might have forgot to open the articles.
It's not E3 week. So everyone gets to do their own little fucking things for E3 that they would have done normally.
And you know, I just happened to think about that, actually. This will be the first time we've not had to have E3 cards.
I'm sad I don't get to do fun gags with title cards for E3.
I didn't think about that till just now, and it's like, wait a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the PlayStation 5 reveal, a bit of PC gaming show, and an assortment of other things to talk about. But before we get to that, who wants to go first on talking about stuff? Since there's, it's usually only just me and Tommy, and I go last. So
I take that awkward silence as I probably need to go first.
probably.
Well, I finally sat down and recorded a festival percent run for the project that I've been working on.
Why is that not working?
Because you broke it.
Hit enter after the link.
I did. There we go. Okay, don't click it.
Okay.
Wait, why don't click it? Also,
because it's a surprise.
Also,
it's a surprise.
Uber, thanks for adding like a bunch of space to the releases down there.
Oh, sorry.
I got down to dark and darker side moons, and I don't. All those moons are hard.
Also, Glock, I have to break your rule.
Don't say a fucking word.
I kind of have to have them all loaded.
Okay, but don't. Okay,
I'm not even with that title.
Don't fucking say a word.
I wish they would.
Wow.
Shut up, don't say a word. Because it's a surprise for the people that are listening to us.
Well, this is happening.
On that note.
Well, what else besides that?
I feel like there's something else. But there might not have actually been.
Oh. Glock, what have you been playing the last couple weeks or so?
Last couple weeks, I've been playing random PC stuff, just little indie games. I finally got around to finishing, that, what's it called? Broken Memory or something like that. Bright Memory. I finally got around to beating it. It was okay.
I was about to say it.
I'm waiting on Infinite to come out. I'm waiting on Infinite to come out because anybody who purchased the original Bright Memory gets Infinite for free. By the way, I beat the game in literally an hour and 13 minutes, and that's with dying like 24 times.
The short game is what I'm hearing.
It is very short, but anyone who buys Bright Memory gets Infinite for free.
Let's just hope it's longer.
Yeah. I've just been playing like random little stuff, little indie games. I started playing this game called Neocab, which it's an interesting game. It's cyberpunk where you are a cab driver in a world where cab drivers don't really exist anymore. It's interesting. But other than that, I haven't really been playing much other than I've been trying to dredge through Rise of the Tomb Raider again. It's not that Rise of the Tomb Raider is a bad game. It's just I've gotten so much further on my Xbox version. And it's such a dredge trying to get all the stuff that I got in the Xbox version that I have that I need to get in the PC version. It's just like I just want to finish the game, but at the same time I don't want to miss out on like little caves and shit. But that's about it for me.
I guess I've been trying the Destiny 2 seasonal experience because I've been playing a bit of Destiny 2 recently since the new season started. Since they had a live event this past week, like Fortnite.
Are you
Unfortunately,
talking about where the ship blew up?
Yes. And it was very boring because it took forever.
Wow. I love to hop in games to watch destruction in the background that I'm no part of.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that, but I hopped in with the new season, trying it out. I like Destiny's gameplay. I like Gambit, but that's about it. I'm debating on whether or not I want to try the season pass for a season and see how that is. I might not, to be honest. Since Fortnite's going to start their new season at some point, and I would like to get back to Fortnite. Hopefully with maybe game modes that they won't take out that I liked. Because they had one game mode that I really liked, and then they took it out, and then I was just like, well, I got no reason to play Fortnite. Because I completed the battle pass, and I got all the cosmetic stuff I want. Bye.
Yeah, I don't even think I finished with the battle pass. I think I'm kind of at that burned out point.
Yeah, I kind of am too. Granted, hearing all sorts of things about flooding the map in underwater combat makes me go, oh, that sounds like it's going to be janky. Oh, no, I don't want to.
I forget. How do you look at your previous purchases on Steam? How do you fucking get to that list?
Fuck, I don't know.
You're asking the wrong one there.
Yeah. Other than that, I've been chipping away at Persona 5 Royal. I'm into the Shido's dungeon, kind of like halfway through. So I probably will be done next time I sit down and play a session of it.
Found it.
Because I'm kind of at the point where I can kind of like blow through bosses because I know what I'm doing with weaknesses and stuff. But yeah, that's all I have. Anything else before we move into articles, since we have a bit to cover today?
Sure.
I can't think of anything.
All right, then. First up, yeah, PlayStation 5 reveal with Sony's, I guess, not press conference and their obsession with the shapes. Their love of their fucking 4-button shapes. It is an absurd amount of things they did for that.
Why?
I don't know why.
Why does every site insist that I turn off ad blocker now? Why can't you just go to hell? Jesus Christ.
Because ads paid their way.
I don't fucking care.
But yeah, we're gonna hit this in order that it was shown off. So, GTA 5 will be coming to PlayStation 5 next year. I believe GTA Online is free to play.
We're not watching every video, are we?
No.
Okay.
There's not much here to watch, to be honest. So, and if we were, we would just have it in the background while we're talking.
I said enough earlier about how much I do not give a shit about GTA 5 being on PS5.
But if you are on consoles, you get $1 million a month till GTA 5 launches on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. Next up, in one that I have an article talking about it more because, let's just say what this game is not quite set in stone yet. Spider-Man Miles Morales is announced for holiday this year, and I saw some initial impressions said this is Spider-Man 2, but the fact that this is only coming 2 years after Spider-Man on PlayStation 4, that's probably not the case. That's a little fast. So I assumed it was an expansion. Other people have taken it a step further in saying that Insomniac and Sony are putting story content that's meant for Spider-Man behind a $560 paywall. I would say that's a step too far.
I mean, possibly accurate though.
$560 paywall. I guess. I mean, I think you're kind of lowballing how much they're going to be selling these systems for. If I'm being completely honest here, I don't see these systems going for less than $600.
I was about to say placeholders prices have been about $600. Also, the two different PlayStation 5s we'll get to later have been priced the exact same price.
That's not a bad accident waiting to happen.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll get to more of this to later. Otherwise, hey, look, Spider-Man with Miles. Cool. I like it. I dig it. Here's like one of the things that got me excited for a PlayStation 5. Here's the thing that didn't get me excited for a PlayStation 5. A new Gran Turismo with cars and not much more. It's Gran Turismo. What do you expect?
I've got my PC if I want to play a racing game. I can set up a whole... If I wanted to spend the money on a fucking PS5 just to play a racing game, I might as well just take that money and build a whole fucking simulation setup for my PC. My PC can handle better anyway.
I think Forza's kind of taken Gran Turismo's praise as kind of the marquee car game, realistic car game.
I mean, it has, but hasn't. The problem is the fact that Forza is... The problem is the fact that while Forza is, yes, in my opinion, the better racing simulator, it's also on the console that everyone looks down on no matter how well it does. And that's a problem I have with the gaming industry as a whole. For some reason, fans and everybody just look down on the Xbox no matter how well or how bad they do. No matter what Xbox does, they are, for some reason, the ass end of every joke. Okay. And PlayStation will always be superior. I think the only time I can think of that Xbox was not the ass end of a joke was when PlayStation came out with the PS3 and that ridiculous price.
Yeah. Okay, I am going to say this, though. In recent years, Microsoft kind of has deserved it.
Yes, but
when you don't give people games for your console that are exclusive, you kind of deserve to be the butt end of every joke.
They're working on it, though. And I mean, if you're saying console exclusives only, you've got to understand from what I'm seeing, Microsoft's not looking at being just a console company, or Xbox isn't looking at being just a console company anymore.
And that's the other problem. If they're not going to be a console company, they need to step out of the ring completely. Not keep on meandering through, being like, oh, well, we're doing both. We're doing both. No, you're causing no exclusives for your console.
I disagree. And here's why. A lot of people are terrified of the idea of building a PC. I know because I was one of those people. Which is why I stuck to consoles a long time. And if an Xbox exclusive comes out that is also PC, someone who doesn't want to build a PC and doesn't want to spend the money on a pre-built PC can look at the console and go, that's cheaper and it can somewhat keep up with the PC. So I'll take that.
But you're still missing the whole exclusive. It's not an Xbox exclusive if it comes out on PC. It no longer is something that you can only play on Xbox. Sony still has games that are popular that are only playable on PlayStation. It's one of those, if you don't have the exclusives, your console's gonna suffer.
I disagree, because I think consoles attract the more casual people, and that's where Xbox is trying to fill in that market.
Okay, I'm gonna argue your point right there then. If consoles are targeting the casual people, then what in the world is the purpose of them displaying all the teraflops when they announce a new one? They are not aiming for casuals. Casuals don't care what the processing power is. They care what games are there. So why have the big tech demos?
I would think a casual is not buying a console day one.
I don't think...
Which is Go ahead.
I think those numbers, the teraflops and everything, are for possible future developers to look at and go, we might start building for that console.
But then that should be notes for the developers, not for the general public.
Especially when that's all we know.
Hold on, because you're forgetting a very big part of Microsoft's market, the indie development scene. Most of them, they don't get invited to the private information panels and stuff like that. So the only way they learn is through public access. You are absolutely cutting them out of the loop completely if you say it that way.
Okay.
And that's not fair, because a big part of Microsoft's deal is they try to be the biggest indie gaming representative for the console.
So let's take it that way then. Okay. They're trying to be a big proponent of indie developers. Okay, that's all well and good. Why are they doing this in a public sense and not in a developer-only concept that allows indie developers in?
Because I think, in my opinion, if they were to do it in a developer-only thing, a lot of indie developers are people, honestly, a lot similar to the way I am with video games, that they're just getting their feelers in for indie games. You know, they're building for PCs, but they're interested. They're building games for PCs, but they're possibly interested in moving their gaming development to consoles. But they might not know the full lingo, because I know I looked into indie development, and teraflops and stuff like that is something that's easily looked up, but I imagine developer lingo, when it comes to big time developers, it's like someone who's learning Spanish and then walks up to someone who spoke Spanish their entire life and can barely keep up, if they even can keep up. So it allows possible new clients and clients from other consoles or other platforms to be able to go, okay, well, maybe my game will work on this system.
Except you opened a big glaring door that still causes the downfall for Microsoft. Thanks to them implementing Windows 10 into the Xbox One, they also have now basically branched the path to, all those Windows 10 apps that you use? They technically could be on an Xbox. Every one of them. Microsoft has went on record even saying that there is a way where apps can be reworked, meaning you're still only developing for one console.
I still don't see how this is a downfall for the console. I really don't. It gives the console more maneuverability and more usability and flexibility when it comes to being able to do more than just
it obsolete.
I disagree. I truly disagree. You wouldn't call your lower end graphics cards obsolete. People still buy them. People still pay the money to get them because they are budget items. To Microsoft, I truly believe that the Xbox is basically their concept of a budget gaming PC. I truly believe that's what they're trying to turn it into, because that's what it's slowly becoming. I've even seen an Xbox Series X being taken apart and put back together. It's just a PC. That's all it is. It just has specialized graphics and CPU. That's it.
If you want to use that argument, then that's all they've been doing. The original Xbox uses the exact same parts as that time frame's higher end computers.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, you're trying to say that the Series X is obsolete because of the fact that it has games that are also going to be on Windows. I disagree wholeheartedly. It allows maneuverability between people that can't afford to build a high-end PC to play these high-end games.
By charging them a high-end price for this console.
No. $600 is not a high-end price, and I will battle you tooth and nail for that one. $600 is not a high-end price. I paid $1,300 to build my PC. $1,300, and I didn't even get the parts that I wanted to get. If I would have gotten the parts that I wanted to get, I would have spent well into the 3,000s range. So saying $600 is high-end is absolute bullshit.
Okay.
Absolute bullshit.
Okay.
That is absolutely the definition of a budget console.
No, because hear me out on this. That $1,300 computer you've got right now can run any game that you run in Contact to at this point, correct?
Yes, and almost all of them can be played on Ultra. Almost.
Meaning that instead of the normal 2-year life cycle that you see in a lot of stuff, you could probably push towards, I'm willing to guess, around the 6-year mark, meaning you're looking at 2 more console generations. So let's assume 600 is the high end for consoles. What's 600 times 3? That's 1,800 right there. That's, what, 500 more than you spent for yours?
Yeah. Okay, but here's the
this
kicker.
Budget console that you're talking about?
Okay, but here's the kicker. With consoles, 9 times out of 10, when a new console comes out, you can go to your closest physical gaming store and trade your console in for a price deduction on the original console. Looking at about, I mean, if you're using GameStop, yeah, you're probably only going to get $60 off. But if you're using another company, I don't know very many companies, but I know there are a couple out there and about. I think the micro centers actually you do trade-ins sometimes, but if you do that, a lot of those places they'll give you a deal that's like $150 to $200 off. So instead of paying $600 for the console, you're paying $400, and it's like a trade-in. I mean, people do the same thing with cell phones, but cell phones cost more than Xbox consoles, and everyone has a cell phone. So you cannot tell me that consoles are not budget items. I will absolutely fight that opinion throughout my entire life, because I know now from experience how much a PC can cost. And in terms of upgrading PCs, they need to be upgraded semi-frequently. At least, fans and stuff like that. Now, when I say semi-frequently, I don't mean like every few months. I mean like every couple years. And yes, it's in the long run, it's going to be cheaper to build a PC. But the problem is, most people that play consoles, they're not looking for long run cheap, what's cheaper. They're looking for, I've got this amount of money, I'm going to have this amount of money soon. Should I try to build a PC, or should I just go ahead and get a console that can play all of the games that the PC can play at this moment? You've got to put your mind into someone who has never built or never bought an actual gaming PC. They're not looking at long-term cost effectiveness. They're not looking at that. They're looking at what's going to give me access to the games I want to play the quickest and the cheapest at this moment. That's where Xbox is trying to fill that niche. They're not trying to build a console that, oh, this game's only available on this console. They're trying to fill in the niche of people that want to play with their friends that are on PC or also getting a console, but they don't want to spend the amount of money that a PC can take. I know because I debated building a PC for years. Y'all know I've been on and off because of, not having PCs, not having a laptop or not having a PC. Laptops are outrageously expensive. The cheapest gaming laptop that looks like it's any good is $750. So yes, PCs are absolutely the cheaper option in terms of your average person who, saves up here and there. So, yes, I absolutely say I disagree 100%. Microsoft is not losing out. If they were losing out, their sales records and their economic status would be in jeopardy right now, and Microsoft would be looking to possibly close their doors. With Xbox.
Might I interject?
Sure.
Okay. What's always trying to argue here is that Microsoft, for all they're doing to be consumer friendly with everything they're trying to do, they're devaluing the Xbox One compared to PC. And since you brought up sales, I checked sales. Do you want to guess the sales numbers of all three consoles just all together?
As of this moment, I know the Xbox One is not doing well. But you've also got to remember the Xbox One got a bad rap from the beginning with the whole DRM thing, and it's never gone away. That's one of the bad things with the gaming industry is once you get a bad rap for any minor thing, that's it. Your sales are going to drop no matter what. Look at The Last of Us 2 right now. That's a prime example. People are not happy, but reviewers are saying, oh, 10 out of 10, great game, fantastic, we all love it. But I've even watched another reviewer, he's a small-time reviewer, and he was like, I'm going to give you my honest opinion throughout this whole thing. I did not take any money from anybody. I'm not trying to bullshit anybody. I did not like the game.
I'm going to assume it was SkillUp's review.
Yep.
Okay. I'm just like, negative review of Last of Us 2. I wonder if that's SkillUp's.
Yep, it was SkillUp's. And
okay.
I've watched some of their reviews before, so I do deem them at least semi-trustworthy. So, yes, prime example is Last of Us 2. Of course, the ratings companies are going to say, oh, it's phenomenal, blah, blah, blah. Because that's what the gaming industry has become. Whoever pays the top dollar gets the best review. Sadly.
Well, I can say that Xbox One has climbed to being comparable to Switch right now in terms of sales numbers within the last few months. It's still behind the Switch. Right. Sony has doubled even Switch's sales numbers on console.
Yes, Sony has dominated this year, but I want you, or this generation, but I want you to go back to the other generation and look at the sales competition between the Xbox 360 and the PS3. PS3 had the same exact problem as Xbox One is having now. That's my argument.
Okay, we want to have that argument. I've got numbers here then too. Because I figured that might be where this argument would go, and yeah, the PS3, even with its bad rap, still outperformed the 360.
Because the PlayStation's always had a longer rap sheet.
But the 360 had more exclusives at the time. You see what's happened in one generation when Microsoft basically dropped theirs. They went from selling 84 million 360s to 46 million Xbox Ones. They almost lost half of their sales I have to think mostly because of the fact of them not doing the exclusives like they were.
And Microsoft is addressing this because they are taking in studios to develop for first-party stuff. That's why they've, what was it, last year, said they had 50 studios under their umbrella now?
Yeah, and I mean, unless they buckle down and double down on that, they need to just back out and treat Xbox as more of a service for gamers, not so much as a console for gamers.
I guess I agree and disagree with certain aspects. I still feel that Microsoft is trying to, the same way they did with the Xbox One, they're not trying to make it this is just a gaming console. They're trying to spread into more of a multimedia perspective, and the Series X looks like it's trying to do the same thing. In fact, there's even more.
I feel like that's the problem. They can't focus on what they want to be. Nintendo realized that the Wii U was a flop because they went the wrong direction with the Wii. So they reevaluated and changed direction with the Switch, and that's what's made it hit so quick. And it's one of those, if Microsoft can't see that and realize they've got to do something to change the game, then they're gonna completely falter.
I guess you're right. I don't know. I don't want to see either of the consoles crash. I truly don't. Because I respect PlayStation for being able to, sit in the game for so long. I mean, the only one other than PlayStation that's been able to outlast everyone is Nintendo. Everyone else has crashed and burned over time, and I don't want to see any of the current consoles crash. I really don't.
I kind of, for some reason, don't feel like we'll ever see Sony crash. For the same reason we won't see Nintendo crash. It's one of those, they've figured out their sticking point, and now I think Nintendo has too, so I think they're both pretty set. It's a case of push forward now. Now it's whether or not Microsoft realizes where they need to pick up the pieces and go.
I was about to say, Nintendo, I think, is actually technically the longest standing video game company, just in terms of how long their company's been, because I found out an interesting bit of trivia that they existed at the same time the Mongolian Empire did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. That's how far back Nintendo, dates as a company. But yeah, I will say, even if the Xbox Series X doesn't perform well, they are at least one step away from being a better streaming service than Stadia. Yeah. By being an actual streaming service.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I've had the pleasure of being able to try the Project X Cloud with my phone. I don't know if y'all have tried.
I've
not.
I enrolled in the program and I attempted it, and I have to say, in the very beginning, when it first started, it was terrible. But now, it's, as long as you have a good connection to internet, it's indistinguishable, and I can appreciate it. I can really appreciate how that can change the way gaming is. Now, in my opinion, like I said, I don't want to see Xbox crash, but I would like to see Microsoft, because Xbox has proven that they can kind of get into the realm of CPU building, graphics card building. I would like to see that moved over more to the PC side, because I would love to see, we already have dedicated gaming laptops and stuff like that, but they all run specifically on your normal Windows or Linux or stuff like that. I would like to,
if it's a gaming any kind of computer, it's Windows.
It's mostly Windows, yeah. But
I'll even bow out to that one, even though I like Linux far better.
I'm just trying to say you can see all these different softwares, and Windows has always been the massive software company. I would like to see Windows try to create a software dedicated to the gaming side of PC, rather than, let's say there's 2 more generations and then they finally come out with a Windows 760 gaming edition, and this is dedicated to gaming PCs, then that's all it's for, so you can have easier loading times and stuff like that. Because as it stands right now, PlayStation and Xbox are ahead of PC. Now, before you put my head on a spike for that,
I'm not.
Let me explain.
I do want to say one thing. That I am really going to say. I have to disagree with you on waiting on a couple of generations. Them throwing game mode into Windows 10 and it failing horribly shows that they need more than that.
Fair enough. Very fair. But what I'm saying is, PlayStation and Xbox are ahead of PC. And here's my argument for that, because I can hear PC fanboys crying blasphemy, wanting my head on a pike. PlayStation has already exhibited this in the PlayStation recap. I know we haven't really gone through the recap much, but
yeah.
Further down the line of what we're recapping in this one is Ratchet and Clank. As a matter of fact, Ratchet and Clank is next, so I guess this is a pretty good transition into it.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank proved in its video display that it can play the game almost flawlessly with little to no loading screen. You could argue that the in-between rifts is kind of a loading screen, but even if that is a loading screen, that load time is amazing compared to most games today, especially on PC. Look at Tommy, I know you've played Master Chief Collection on PC. How rough is that load time?
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I can't really speak for it for the simple fact of anything running through Wine acts weird. So I can't guarantee that some of the load time isn't just because of it running through the compatibility layer. Yeah. I've at least seen the Xbox version, and the load time kind of sucks. Not gonna lie.
But you look at the load time of normal PCs, and then you look at the load time of this on PlayStation 5, and credit where credit is due. PlayStation 5, as it stands, seems like it is light years ahead of PC. Even your strongest PCs, and you can look to Linus Tech Tips if you really want to look into this, even your strongest PCs, massive amounts of RAM, the best graphics cards, the best CPU on the market for gaming, even those PCs where they spend thousands and thousands of dollars have load times that are subpar. And that's the sad truth of the PC. The reason the consoles are so ahead of PC is because of the fact that they're dedicated to gaming alone. They have functionality where they can use television and stuff like that, but they're dedicated to gaming. The graphics card, all of that is dedicated to the gaming side, which allows for loading time, which is a major CPU side, to minimize to nearly nothing. And that's why I can appreciate the PS5 display, because it proved the fact that, yes, we are reaching a time when load screens won't exist anymore. And I would love to see that transition to the PC. Because... big problem... Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say, so video games will come full circle because loading times didn't exist on cartridges.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm 1 second.
Older cartridges, mind you. We're talking
Yeah.
NES, SNES era.
Yeah.
N64, no. No. Before then,
but at least it wasn't
Prototypes didn't exist.
horrible.
Yeah.
But my point with this little rant is just I want to see the PC advance. As of right now, as far as I can see, we're kind of at a stalemate when it comes to, or not a stalemate. I'll call it a standstill.
We're hitting a wall.
Yes, we're hitting a wall, not because of graphics, okay? I think as of right now, graphics are where they need to be, okay? Graphics, I don't think are going to get much better in terms of, like, look at the leap from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4. PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2, massive leap in graphic fidelity. PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3, massive leap, but not as massive. And it's just it's slowing down exponentially. And yes, we are going to continue to, get that little bit of impressiveness, but I think on the PC side, Nvidia had the right idea with trying the ray tracing and, the small aspects of reality that they needed to pull into gaming. Like hair. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a prime example of that with the hair. Nvidia did this whole thing where they were trying to make the hair as realistic as possible by showing every individual strand of hair.
The only problem with bringing a lot of that stuff PC side, truthfully, doesn't have to do with the top tier PC specs not being good enough. It more boils down to two things.
Mostly software.
Both actually do result to that. And I don't think we would ever see a Windows gaming OS, so to say.
Yeah. I mean, what even if it's not Windows.
What I would more lean towards seeing happen is Wine does a pretty good job with compatibility layers.
Right.
The biggest thing that everyone that has ever said anything about it has said is if they had their hands on the official resources, it could be so much better. If Windows takes that kind of approach to it, we might see it. And I think they might have been transitioning, starting with 7. Because 7 onwards kind of started feeling a little more Linuxy. And I think that might also be the reason why Sony's able to do stuff like this. They're not relying on Windows. They're relying on their own operating system that's solely designed for this. And that's also the problem with the Xbox too. It's got so many hands on it that they have to reuse stuff as opposed to make new.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's going to be the big issue. If Microsoft can't realize we need a cheaper alternative to this that can work just the same, then it's going to be a problem. I think it's possible, but Microsoft's going to be the first major hurdle. The second, I have a funny feeling a lot of the graphics cards out there can actually do the stuff the consoles are doing. It's just the graphics makers are locking it back enough to where it still doesn't look like we're at that point. Because let's be honest, Nvidia, AMD, Intel, they're the same ones making these graphics chips in the consoles.
Absolutely, but I think
you can't tell me they can't put that in a PC.
I think it's a lot more. So, graphics cards are multifunctional in PCs. They're not just for gaming. I can't think of a single graphic card that is truly just for gaming. Even graphics cards like the 2070 Super that's in mine, it's multifunctional. It can be used in a workhorse. It's not optimal for a workhorse, but it can be used, and it, I'm sure, has been used in the past. And I think that's where they run into problems, is they're not making a dedicated gaming graphics card. And I think that's where the optimization is kind of faltering for PC wise. And I think that's why console is able to keep up at the moment, is because everything in a console is dedicated for gaming. Everything in a console is optimized to the bone for gaming, rather than being multifunctional.
I can see your point. I'm not saying you're wrong here, but I did make the comment earlier about, Microsoft pushing Windows 10 in the Xbox. It might be a stripped down version of it in the Xbox, but still that means those compatibility layers for the graphics cards that, if we weren't when the console first released, we should be at that point for having them in PCs by now. And they're still not keeping up. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
It feels like that there's a breakdown we've got from the manufacturers too.
That's very possible.
And I wonder if Microsoft took a different approach, if that wouldn't change.
Well, shall we move on to the rest of the PlayStation 5?
Yes.
The heel?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
I would like to talk about my boys. My two good boys.
The good boys that one is on the screen.
Yep. So Ratchet and Clank have a brand new game coming to PlayStation 5. I don't believe they set a date for this.
I don't think so.
But Rift Apart, I love that they are keeping up the pun game with their titles. Thank you, Insomniac. I love it. But it looks good. We have a teleporting mechanic, more or less, where you can rip yourself into portals and teleport yourself across the battlefield.
Yeah, I noticed an in-game mechanic where yellow breaks in reality are basically just your ability to teleport, while purple breaks in reality are you switching between worlds. So I think it's gonna play a lot more on that mechanic rather than just you're able to do whatever you want with everything.
Which those yellow portals don't sound too dissimilar from, oh, we've had the hookshot in games for years. What if we use that in battle?
Oh God.
That's a good point. It does kind of seem like the hookshot the way it's played. Yeah.
It's literally just it's technically not the hookshot, it's another name, but it's more or less a hookshot. They've had that game in the games for years. That's one of your first gadgets in the original Ratchet and Clank, is a hookshot. And here's a hookshot that just rips you to a portal.
Fair point.
Nothing crazy gadget weapon wise yet, although we do have a freeze turret, your standard pistol, your standard rifle. So nothing too crazy yet. But this is Ratchet and Clank. Crazy weapons are the future. Are in store.
Are you gonna go this whole time without mentioning the new character?
I'm getting there because I have something to talk about with her. So at the end of this trailer, Clank gets separated from Ratchet, thrown through a portal to another world, and I want to highlight something that maybe people haven't catched on in that trailer. And it's a nice little freeze frame at that is not 2 seconds. 2:03. Thank you.
1 second, I got an ad.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. But yeah, when you look out onto this world, it looks very distinctive, and there's a very distinctive character off on the side. that regardless of which timeline we're talking about, whether this is a sequel to the reboot Ratchet and Clank or a sequel to the original like series of games,
I'm guessing we're talking about hologram.
that's Dr. Nefarious. He's dead regardless of which timeline we're talking about. Oh,
no.
and guess who shows up just after this? Not only is a Lombax, but also instead of wielding a wrench, is wielding a hammer, and we're in a game about multiple dimensions. This is a different universe's Ratchet, more or less. Like, it will be a completely different character, mind you, but this is this universe's Ratchet.
What do you think her name is gonna be? It's got to be some kind of clever name, right? Based on the hammer. It has
something like Sprocket.
Sprocket? Maybe.
Something along those lines. But yeah, in this universe, Nefarious won, and he got to take over the galaxy and roboticize everything. And she couldn't stop it as this universe's Ratchet because she doesn't have her universe's Clank.
I wonder why she doesn't. I wonder if that's going to be explored. I wonder if he's in universe. I wonder if we're going to meet him.
Because if you go all the way back to the original game and even the reboot, Clank's existence is a 1 in a million chance encounter.
Oh.
Defect in the robot factory from shit, I can't think of his name, but he was a defect. Like a really oddball defect. He's a 1 in a million. That's why this is why Nefarious won, is because the 1 in a million didn't happen. She didn't get her version of Clank. Which is why when Clank gets separated from Ratchet, she'll be teaming up with Clank, and then you'll be playing segments as her.
You know, I have to say, I really appreciate Insomniac's attention to detail if they follow through with this, because
I can almost guarantee you it will be, because just to point this out, this is not the first female Lombax in this franchise. We had a female Lombax before. Her name is Angela Cross. She's in Going Commando. She's a very important character in Going Commando. Lombaxes as a species exist. They exist outside of time. Because they kind of invented a way to, time travel, and then they took themselves out of time because they were too good at making things. Yeah, I'm just going to put it out there. That's what I think this is. And I'm probably right.
I'm honestly good with this because okay, I'll be completely honest. I have not followed the Ratchet and Clank games that heavily. I played original Ratchet and Clank. I think I played Going Commando. I just don't remember it. I didn't play In Your Arsenal. I didn't play Deadlock. I didn't play Going Mobile or Size Matters. I think I touched on Secret Agent Clank, but didn't play all the way through. And then the next one I played was A Crack in Time.
So I believe that's the first one of the Future Trilogy.
And I don't think I touched another one since.
I have played all of them, including the phone one. When I say these two are my boys, they are my boys. There's a reason one of the follower goals is me playing through the original trilogy. Because I can do that with original hardware if I feel like it.
Well, technically now it's our average viewer goal, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, if I'm able to watch you play through a lot of these games, if you decide you want to play through a lot of these games, I would be willing if I do decide to pick up a PS5, which is going to be a thick maybe.
It's a thick maybe even for me because I'm like, ooh, new Spider-Man, new Ratchet and Clank, yay! That's like 2 games. I need like, I only got a Switch after I got interested in like 5 games on that.
I really, this times like this is when I really wish there was some kind of gaming hardware rental service. Something where I don't have to pay the full amount.
Yeah,
I can just rent the game and the console for like a week.
You know, that is a really freaking smart idea.
Yeah. Expensive if people decide to fuck you on it, but yeah.
Well, man, if you did it right, anyhow.
I mean, obviously the company's going to have insurance on their consoles. So if one of their customers fucks it, the customer's going to have to pay, or it's going to...
And I mean,
I don't know.
On top of that, you could do, I guess, a system similar to like how a pawn shop would, where they've got your information on file.
And if you don't bring it back, they can charge you full price for the console and the game.
And or come after you for theft.
That as well.
Also, the reason I don't say that she's just Ratchet from a different universe gender bent is because when Clank says Ratchet, she says who. She's asking Clank, who are you talking about?
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
And she's also, like, pondering what the fuck Clank is, because she's probably never seen a robot like Clank.
Yeah, she looks at him and is like, who? And then, like, I'm looking at her face at the moment, and just the amount of confusion that's detailed into her face is just perfect.
And also, just as another point out, she has a missing arm. She has a robot arm.
Yep.
With where the hammer is, which I'm like, oh, Insomniac, are you gonna do some crazy things with your melee with the wrench? Because you haven't really done a whole bunch of crazy things with the melee combat in your games. Are you gonna do that with her? Because also, I say this because that's gonna be part of the twist with the weapon setup is now, okay, we have 2 universes. Now we can muck with, like, throw everything out the door. We can go from scratch on weird, crazy weapons because we're in a whole nother universe. We don't have to follow anything. Like, the Rhino could be a completely different thing in this alternate universe.
Yeah.
Especially since, like, the last game was kind of a big celebration of Ratchet and Clank as a franchise with all the trading card stuff and of the references they did all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if this is setting up maybe letting this new person and maybe getting her new Clank, maybe letting them take the reins in the spinoff if she's popular enough.
That would be pretty cool. Would that be a send-off to Ratchet and Clank, like an official, like, this is going to be Ratchet and Clank's final?
I don't think it would be like a send-off for them, but it would be an opportunity for them to go, okay, we can continue this franchise, but we can continue it with new characters. We can do a whole new fresh spin on it. Because Ratchet and Clank has been going since the fucking PS2.
Fair, yeah.
We've got a whole new direction now.
That, and I also feel like an alternate idea is possibly allow the 2 universes to merge in some way.
That too, that's more or less what they're doing with the Spider-Man games, is they're just going, Miles Morales is from an alternate universe? Fuck that, he's just in this universe normally, and that's just the thing. So we ain't dealing with that. He's just a kid.
Well, actually, technically, the true Miles Morales in the universe that he's from, he's actually in the same universe as a Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Right.
As a matter of fact, Into the Spider-Verse, they nailed that, because when I first heard about Into the Spider-Verse, I truly thought they were going to try to say that Miles was just the only hero of his universe, but that was never the case, because he was semi-trained by Peter Parker. So
I think it depends on which iteration, of the Miles Morales Spider-Man you want to use.
That's
yeah,
fair.
they've done some Miles where he's just in the same universe. They
I
don't deal
thi-
with dimension hopping stuff.
I think primarily though, there always was a case of there was a Peter Parker Spider-Man, and then something happened to cause the Miles Morales Spider-Man to have to take over.
It's called Peter Parker died in that universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yes.
died.
Into
I
the
didn't-
Spider-Verse.
I didn't want to say it was consistent death across all of them, because I'm sure there's some that's
Oh,
some
it
kind
is.
of weird, stupid, but
No, Peter Parker died in
no,
Ultimate
it's
Universe
all,
too.
it's all dead. Okay.
Pretty
He
much,
died,
yeah.
He died there
Okay.
too.
Anytime Miles takes over in any of the universes, it's because Peter has died. I don't think I can think of a single universe where he's just retired.
I do have to say though, for the new Spider-Man game, I do kind of like that take where they coexist.
Yeah.
It is very nice, and it's
That's
very.
how the
I think that's why I also kind of like the newest Spider-Man cartoon that they've got has it too, because it's a case of coexisting.
yeah that's actually how they're doing it in the comics right now. Since they've kind of just blown up the Ultimate Universe, Miles has gotten to kind of just come over and just be like, oh, I'm just hanging out with mainline Peter Parker now. And like the 12 other Spider people that are there now as well.
Yeah, but see,
There
that's
are so
kind
many
of
people.
a still that dimension hopping though. I'm
There are
talking
12
about
different
same
people in the
universe.
In the same universe, there are still 12 Spider people.
Oh, I get that. I'm just meaning that's still technically dimension hopping,
Mm-hmm.
not
I'll
being
be-
in with the original for that universe.
Yeah.
I'll be completely honest though, with Spider-Man, I appreciated the fact that they didn't do Peter in school, because I am hoping that if they do a Spider-Man 2, a true Spider-Man 2 sequel, that they introduce Peter's company, Parker Industries.
They probably will.
They introduce him starting up his own tech company, because in the comics, Peter becomes a multi-billionaire because his tech is far beyond anything anyone else can come up with.
I will put it this way: if Into the Spider-Verse has any type of like influence on the Spider-Man games, since it is Sony doing both of them, Sony has call on both of them. I would not be surprised if Spider-Man 2 starts sneakily introducing Spider-Gwen.
But see, here's my only problem. Parker Industries in the comics, in the fictional history, Parker Industries didn't actually get created until Superior Spider-Man, which wasn't Peter Parker. It was Otto Octavius in Peter Parker's body.
Well, we don't have to
which
adapt
they
comic material.
technically did that in the newest cartoon too.
They don't have to like explicitly adapt the comic material, if I'm being honest.
I would like to see Peter's take on his own company. That would be very nice.
To be fair, they could still technically do that.
Although
With
I'm
the
fully
game?
expecting to get into a little bit of spoilers from like after credit stuff, I'm fully expecting a Harry Osborn Venom in a Spider-Man 2.
Oh, absolutely.
They are extremely setting up a Harry Osborn Venom, which I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. I don't think Harry has ever been Venom.
It would definitely be interesting to see that kind of Venom, because Harry has some pent-up anger, but I think overall, I think there's a possibility that he could control it the same way that Flash has in the past.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a really cool villain, because spoilers for Spider-Man, the entire time Spider-Man is taking place, it's basically the opposite of what happened with Venom and Flash. The entire time Spider-Man is taking place, Peter is trying to keep Otto from going into the deep end.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people that have played the game can say that there is a defining moment. We're not going to mention that moment exactly, but any of us that have played the game know what I'm talking about. When Otto does something radical, and that's when everything flips. But the entire time, I think Peter notices, and he's trying to lead Otto the right way.
Mm-hmm.
But it just doesn't work, and in the end, sadly enough, Peter gives up on him.
That's why I feel like that's the door for the potential Otto taking over Peter and going that route. And that could be why they're setting up Miles so early.
That's also true, yeah. But see, then again, Superior Spider-Man, when Otto took over Peter, he didn't take over Peter to be evil in Peter's body. He took over Peter because he was so pissed off at Peter that he had to prove that he could be a better Spider-Man than Peter could ever be. He went, instead of being the normal villain and being like, no, I'm gonna take over your body and be a villain just to ruin your rep. He went, no, I'm gonna take over your body and prove that you suck as a hero.
That's kind of why I'm thinking that might be what happens, and the reason why I said about possibly setting up Miles this early is there again, the newest Spider-Man cartoon, they did that kind of path, and if it wasn't for Miles already knowing, then it never could have got fixed, kind of deal.
Yeah. Also, boy Jesus. I was about to say, go ahead. I was going to answer someone in the chat.
Go ahead.
Because I was about to say, they pointed out how the Mary Jane segments were terrible. And they're correct. It's because they are stealth segments in a non-stealth game.
Yeah, which are terrible on their own.
Especially when they are one shot. The only saving grace for those segments is that they checkpoint very heavily through them.
Okay, can I talk about one Mary Jane segment in particular? Because I broke the living hell out of this segment.
Which one was it?
The bomb segment.
Oh, okay.
I broke the living hell out of this segment purely because the game basically tells you, oh, by the way, anytime anybody turns around, no matter how close they are, if no one can see that character, Peter can boop, boop, gone.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of that segment, MJ is supposed to literally run for the bomb, and people might see her as she's running. I broke it to the point that there was only 2 people in the room, and neither of them batted an eye to a fact that 10 other people were missing. 10 other soldiers were just gone, and they're just standing there like, today's a good day.
Look, grunts are dumb. Goons are dumb. It's what it means to be a goon. Anyway, more PlayStation 5 recap stuff so we can get through this, because it's been an hour and we have covered only like 3 games here.
I'm sorry.
Thankfully, we can probably bang on through a few of these, because next up, Square Enix has showed off Luminous Studios' new game, Project Athia, I believe. Not much. It was a big CG trailer. We're not seeing this anytime soon, I assume.
Looks maybe interesting. I mean, the only reason I'm saying it looks interesting is because it was helmed by Hajime Tabata, and I fucking loved Final Fantasy 15. I loved everything about it. I never played the revised ending. I've only ever played the original ending, and I don't care what anybody says. I'm never going to try the revised ending. Fuck.
I was about to say, I've seen that revised ending. It's not that much different, I don't think, if I remember what it was.
I think the way they ended the game originally was perfect. Sad, but perfect.
Yeah. Next up, Stray, where it didn't seem like you were playing as the cat earlier, and cat in the beginning of this trailer, but no, you are playing as just some cat in some cyberpunk world. Out next year.
Playing as a stray.
I would I would like to see. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting, but I liked Stray, the teaser trailer, because I would like to see Stray. They haven't mentioned what kind of game this is. I would like to see it as like a sort of a semi-survival game.
It would be funny if this was like a reskin for Untitled Goose Game.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Yeah, behind Untitled Goose Game.
No,
Where an asshole cat to a bunch of robots. Please.
No.
Sorry, I had to say it.
I am begging you. I want this game. It looks gorgeous, so I want something with verticality. Like, because cats get into the weirdest fucking places up top and up high. I would like something with verticality where you can, explore the world. And as a Stray, you're looking for food or maybe kind robots to feed you. But the problem is it's robots. Robots don't eat. So there's less food around. So I'd like to see that kind of aspect of maybe you're just trying to survive in the city where humans no longer exist, so food's not necessary. I think that would be a unique look at it. And the cyberpunk layout, these last few years, the cyberpunk aesthetic has skyrocketed in, oh my God, that's pretty. And I appreciate that a lot because I was a fan of the Blade Runner movies. So
I think everyone who's done a cyberpunk game at this point has just been like, oh yeah, I watched Blade Runner 2. I wanted to do that.
That's fair, but I think Blade Runner kind of set the precedent, and I think that's why.
It's one of those cases of, oh, this one memorable thing inspired everybody to do things with this. Oh, that's not surprising. That happens all the time.
Yep. Okay.
Goodbye, Volcano High. A school sim where you're dinosaurs, and you're probably dying at the end of this game because you're gonna die to a meteor because it's in the logo.
Because dinosaurs.
Yep.
The fuck else did you think was gonna happen?
Oddworld Soulstorm, another installment in the Oddworld, I guess, Gabe sub-series? More or less, a bit of think Lemmings in a certain way with this game. It looked cool for an Oddworld game.
I don't know enough about Oddworld to even have an opinion about it. I've played one, and I think that was Abe's Odyssey. And I didn't even play it fully, but I loved it.
I have Stranger's Wrath, but I still haven't played it. I need to do that for a stream.
I think I'm in the same boat as Clark on this one.
Yeah. Jet, The Far Shore. One of two games with a time loop in this same press conference.
Okay, I'll be completely honest. I watched that whole fucking thing and had no idea what the fuck I was watching. The same as another one we're going to talk about. I watched that whole trailer and was just completely lost. I was trying to figure out what the fuck kind of game this is, and I've got nothing.
I think you're old lady astronaut. You get stuck on a planet. You find something on the planet that causes you to go in a time loop, and you're trying to break the time loop.
That's not Jet. That's not The Far Shore.
It's not?
No, you're thinking of Returnal.
Well, wait. Hang on then. I thought that's what the... Damn it. What is this game, man?
Jet was the one that almost looked like another Journey type game, and it was just this simplistically arted art style.
Oh, that one that took like 5,000 years to break Earth's gravitational pull. Oh, that game. Okay.
And I sat there and I was like, what in the fuck is this game? The entire time I'm watching, because I'm just trying to figure out where's the game in this, because they showed off a bunch of different art styles and you saw the ship kind of bouncing on the planet, and I was like, so are you trying to find a planet for humans to settle on, or
it's probably a Civ game of some variety.
What the fuck?
It's probably a Civ game, if I'm being honest.
So are we talking fucking Alpha Centauri, or
probably somewhere in the ballpark of that kind of subgenre.
I'll be honest, I'm one of the few people apparently a lot of people did not like Alpha Centauri. I thought it was a good game.
Next up, Godfall. Action lunar game, I believe, from Gearbox.
Am I the only one here with this one that just, I saw it, was excited, and now I really don't give a shit?
It probably doesn't help it's Gearbox, and Gearbox has a terrible reputation at the moment because of the one person in charge at Gearbox.
We don't talk about him, he's a fucking retard.
Next up, Solar
I'm a
Ash.
magician!
Solar Ash coming from Hyper Life Drifter developers. It looked cool, art style wise. I'm sure it will play just as well as
It
Hyper Life Drifter in
I was about to say it looked like Hyper Light Drifter.
Fury. That's what I'm thinking of. That's in the stream I was watching. It was Ty Tuesday's stream because he was talking over it with a bunch of people. He mentioned like, "Oh yeah, this aesthetic looks cool. Fury did it better." And I'm like, "You're not wrong," because I've seen you play Fury, and it did look really good. VR game with Astro's Playroom where you get to play around with, I guess, the PlayStation's new mascot, which is this little robot buddy.
It's not VR. They ditched the VR for this one.
This is not VR? Well, okay.
No, the last one they did, Astrobot, was a VR game, but this is just kind of a play around with it, see what you do. It's apparently it's still a 3D platformer, but it's not VR.
So it's tech demo of the video game.
Basically.
Okay, cool. Destruction All-Stars, which... Destruction Derby, where you can get out of the car and punch a fool.
I'll be honest, this is the one that I was actually really... it got me kind of hyped up. And I'm disappointed that it is going to be a PS5 exclusive. I know timed exclusives are kind of shunned at the moment. Well, I mean, even if they are the thing right now, according to customers, they are like the fucking devil. So, and I get that, but true. I'm hoping that maybe it'll be a timed exclusive because I would love to get my hand on Destruction All-Stars. That game looked fun.
Mm-hmm. Little Devil Inside was quirky, and I liked it, where you had young adventurer going out on adventures and old man doing old man things.
Okay, am I the only one that got the vibe of it's not about two different people, but rather the same person in different times of his life? Like
no, because I thought it's either that or the old man is sending this guy out to do stuff for him.
I want it to be about the same person at different times of his life and just him reminiscing about his life as an adventurer. I would love that to death. It would be such a beautifully artistically developed game if they do that.
NBA 2K had a teaser for their next installment with Zion Williamson drenched in sweat. He looked a little too sweaty, to be honest. It looked like they dumped a bunch of water on him.
Hey guys, a new NBA game. Surprise! Next.
Bugsnack from Octodad developers. Village simulator where people eat food animals and become food?
I love it because it's the living embodiment of you are what you eat, and I want to see the chaos that can unfold from that.
From some of the glimpses I saw of some of the things in there, I'm like, oh no. This is secret nightmare fuel for people.
Because one of the guys ate one of the burger things, or he ate something and his whole arm became a fucking curly fry, and I was like, there's gonna be so many like straight up like gameplay changes to the way that you are. There has to be, like with curly fries, you're gonna have like extendo arm and shit like that. I want to see what they can develop with this shit because that would be so much fun. And you know, Octodad was like super. They tried their best to make it as unique as possible, and even gameplay wise, it was smooth, even though it was a pain in the ass. So I trust them to come out with this and nail it.
Next up, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. It looked pretty cool, and it's coming from a studio that is an animation studio, not a game developer. And it's kind of looks like Pikmin in a sort of way. Like Pikmin, but you can actually do things instead of stand around and whistle at things.
It felt like Pikmin meets Dark Souls.
With a very Studio Ghibli aesthetic.
Yes. I'm not keeping you from talking, am I, Tommy? I'm not trying to. Okay.
Worst kept secret about this: Resident Evil 8 Village is coming to in 2 years. We continued Ethan's story where Chris shows up, kills his wife, and then he goes to a creepy village, and there are witches that may be vampires, and also a werewolf. Everything I just said is true.
I got nothing. I mean, I still haven't finished 7. I'm at the end. I'm at the ship, but I can't. The last time I tried, I couldn't get past it, so I just took a very, very fucking long break from it because it pissed me off. I'll probably beat it at some point, but 7 was good, but I had some issues with it personally, so I don't know. I feel like 8 might make the same mistakes that I had problems with 7.
Probably, because this just looks like, hey, here's everything you liked in 7 and 8 with now fucking Universal movie monsters.
Lovely.
Returnal was that game I was describing earlier with old lady astronaut being stuck in a time loop. It's a thing. Sackboy is getting a not Little Big Planet game of his own.
You did miss one game that it mentioned.
Did I?
Yeah, in the Resident Evil 8, it also mentioned that Capcom also revealed Pragmata.
Oh, Pragmata, which is that Kojima-looking game that I thought it was a Kojima game, because even the astronaut looks like the Kojima logo.
Yeah.
It's nothing, because it's a big CG trailer, and I have no idea what the fuck it is. Moving on.
That's fair.
Sounds about right.
It looked pretty, though.
Yeah, it looked pretty, but I'm like, the fuck's the game? Where's game? What's game? What is this? This is nonsense. This is Kojima nonsense. I'm not in for Kojima nonsense. Goodbye. Call me when you have something that's not Kojima nonsense.
Right.
But yeah, Sackboy Big Adventure coming. Did not specify.
It looked adorable, though.
It's a 4-player 3D platformer. You can play up to 4 players. I saw.
Yeah, it looks adorable. I would definitely play it if I got the PS5.
I'm guessing they're not doing a creative mode on it since this is not Little Big Planet. So, I
think creative mode has extended into Dreams now. So I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a Dreams 2.0 at some point for PS5 because Dreams has been uber fucking successful. So I imagine Dreams is probably going to be their new creative platform for your average person.
Yeah. Ghostwire Tokyo is a PlayStation 5 exclusive coming from Bethesda. Or not Bethesda. Was this Bethesda? Yeah, this is Bethesda. You are... It's...
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Just the cutting back and forth and just. I'll be honest. When I watched this trailer, I sat there and I was like, "Okay." At first, it looked like a horror game, and then it didn't, and then all of the villains. And then all of the scary monsters ended up looking like little bitches because you're destroying them like they're nothing, and it's like,
look,
what is this game?
You are a cyber priest taking care of tech ghosts. But that's what you are. You're a cyber priest taking care of tech ghosts.
I don't even anymore.
It's
I
like
assume.
they,
I don't know if that's actual or not.
it's like they wanted to make a shooter, but they were also like, what if we made a scary game? And then somebody else came in and was like, what if you took the pineapple and the pen and put them together?
What if you made a scary shooter game?
Yep.
That's not scary because you see the same villains over and over again.
What? You don't want to Hadouken Slender Man into oblivion?
Yes, that was absolutely Slenderman, by the way.
That one Slender Man game. Look, one of them is Slender Man.
That is straight up Slenderman, and no one can tell us differently. That was straight up Slenderman.
Deathloop got showcased again, more or less. Did you want to play Dishonored, but now a Deathloop, and also maybe facing off against someone else at the same time, or choosing your story on which person you want to play as? I'm not sure on that part.
Okay, so I'll be honest with Deathloop. I have kind of a hope here, and it's a stretch because this is the way this would play out is it would be kind of the long game, like minimum. I imagine kind of like the MOBA aspect of gaming, that 30 minutes to an hour gameplay, but like you've got this each side has their own agenda. One side is trying to get to the end while the other side is trying to stop that side from getting to the end. And it, being killed and losing fits the narrative because when you die, you reset.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of want to see how this plays out. I'm kind of hoping it plays out that way. Arcane knows their shit because I played Dishonored. I love the Dishonored series, so they know their shit when it comes to those supernatural shooters. So I'm gonna let them do what they do.
They just took what they did with Dishonored and went, what if we slathered this in B-movie aesthetic? And I'm on board for the B-movie aesthetic.
Oh, hell yeah. It looks like straight up. Oh, it looks great.
Yeah. Hitman 3 got announced, coming January next year. It's Hitman. The Hitmans have been really good the last couple of years.
Yeah, but what is this whole shit about him being on the run now? Hasn't he been with the company this whole time?
I don't know. I haven't kept up with the Hitman story because the Hitman story is the least interesting thing in Hitman.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. I like the story because to me the story is interesting. 47 has always been betrayed by the company. Every other generation or so, there has been like a reboot of the Hitman series, and this reboot has been the exact story of Agent 47 doesn't know who he is or where he came from, gets initiated into the company, starts working for the company, and then gets betrayed by the company, and a hit is put out on him, so he has to defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if Hitman 3 is going to be like, this is their final game for Hitman for a little while.
Look, as long as I can dress up as a plague doctor, pretend I'm a statue, lure my target in to have him paint a picture of me, and then kill him with a can of SpaghettiOs, we'll be okay. Because it's the shit like that you do in these games that's just like, yeah, that's why people play Hitman, is because it allows that much creative freedom on the player side of just going, all right, here's A, here's B, fucking go for it.
Yeah.
Demon Souls is getting a remaster, which is not surprising in hindsight because they only just now took down the servers for Demon Souls like a few years ago. And this game is a PS3 title.
I'll be honest, I'm excited for it. I'm awful with the Dark Souls games, but I put myself through the hell because I find them interesting.
I believe technically everyone just calls them the Souls games.
Yeah. I put myself through the hell of playing through these games purely because of the fact that the storytelling is very, very minute, and you just kind of it's like D&D almost. I mean, I know that the guy who made the games, he's like, no, there's a story. There's a story. I've put a story in there. But when you're playing the games, I'll be honest, it feels like you're just kind of making your own path and making your own story in this carved out world, which is what D&D is for the most part. So I like the games purely because of that, despite how absurdly difficult some parts of the games are.
Yeah. Horizon Forbidden West coming to PlayStation 5, to no one's surprise, because Horizon did super well, even though it was up against Breath of the Wild on release.
That's
they came out within
actually kind of surprising.
Yeah, they came out within weeks of each other. And they are practically the same genre. And Horizon not being gobbled up by Breath of the Wild is really a testament to how good Horizon ended up being.
When it comes to the hardware reveal, can we just watch the trailer and just point and laugh?
Watch the router reveal. I mean,
the book, the Seto Kaiba, the 5 million memes that have been created at this point because of this. Dude, this probably not the best design, especially when you look at the CD drive one and the not CD drive one side by side and realize, oh, I wonder which one of these was designed first.
Okay, but in all fairness, I have to say, it's better than their dev kit.
Have you seen this thing laying down?
No, and I don't want to. That was a complaint that I had when I saw the reveal. Was we'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah, we can probably let it play in the background. But yeah, I've seen it laying down. The disk drive's actually on the bottom. Also, you have to lay it down on the stand. It does not lay flat on its own.
Yeah, that's a big problem I had with this. With the Series X, as far as I know, you can lay it down. It's not as air flow friendly, I think. Well, no, because all of the airflow is through the top, so it works. Yeah. With the Series X, you can lay it down. I think the fact that you can't lay the PS5 down, in my opinion, it should get a lot more shit than what it's been getting so far, just because I remember when the Xbox One came out and you had to lay it down and people lost their shit about it and were like, why can't we stand it up? But now the PS5 is stand up only. I think it should get a lot more shit than it's
You can lay
getting.
down the PlayStation 5. It's not stand up only. There are official photos of it laying down.
yeah.
I want you to tell me how many people are going to lay it down and just let it lay like that.
Probably not many, to be honest, but like, you can lay it down. It just doesn't help. This box is like, I'm happy it's not just a box, but why is it a book?
I mean, if that's the case, if we're being technical, you could have done the same thing with the original Xbox One.
True, but at least it has like things on it and etched on it. This just has like the PlayStation 5 logo in like the corner.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, people do not give this thing enough shit for the fact that it looks interesting, but it really, really...
No, it don't. Don't even try to defend it.
I'm trying to be friendly to all consoles right now.
This generation, and I can say that because, you know, the Switch is kind of... Nintendo's kind of became their own generation cycle now.
Yeah.
I will be honest. You look at Nintendo and you just kind of sit there and go, "What the fuck drugs are the console development team on?"
They're just doing their own thing. They don't care what Sony and Microsoft do anymore.
Look, it's
And
the
that's
right
the
kind.
best.
Look, it's the right kind, because in 2 years they surpassed Xbox One sales and are halfway to PlayStation 4 sales.
Okay, I'll be honest. You know, now that I think about it, the whole Seto Kaiba thing, you know what the PlayStation 5 looks like?
What?
If the Xbox is the guy that looks like a fridge, he's just massive and just kind of bulky. The PlayStation 5 is that cocky, skinny little bastard wearing the trench coat that flips up his fucking his collar and goes, "Yeah, but I'm sleek."
Look, we've got a fridge, we've got a book, and I guess the Switch can be a toaster.
I have to say,
oh my
though,
god, you're right.
I have to say though,
you're right. The Switch is a toaster.
I'm hoping what I saw is true, and maybe it's not just full, like, just, CGI. Maybe the camera is wireless for the most part, other than power cord.
Maybe.
It would be interesting to see a wireless camera, wireless headphones, and the remote and all of that. Maybe the only thing that really needs to be hooked in is the PlayStation to power and to TV. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Overall, I dug it. I am secretly kind of enjoying, even though it is really bad, that Microsoft and Sony are playing chicken with each other about the price.
Oh my god, I'm so fucking tired of waiting. It is straight up Microsoft going, "I'm not gonna show my price," and then PlayStation crossing their arms and going, "Neither am I." And then Microsoft's just going, "Okay, we'll fucking stand here."
I will. You take $100 off your price.
Just Microsoft standing there and going, "Okay, I guess we'll fucking sit here then."
It is hilarious to see them do that. I like that. It helped that I watch these in a stream with other people watching it, so I hear people rag on bullshit like fucking shape intermissions, all the shape intermissions.
Yeah, there was a lot of. In all fairness, I think Xbox did the same thing with their Inside Xbox when they were showing all those quote unquote gameplay trailers.
But they didn't do it to this degree and this much effort of just like, look at the shapes, look at them move and congest and all this other bullshit. Just like, why?
I agree. You're right on that one. They really did not go that hard.
They put so much work into their buffers for no reason.
But don't you want it to look good?
I do, but I don't need shape museums for a solid minute.
I would prefer if the consoles look good, not the lead into the reveal. Just saying. I mean, we have a brick and a router.
Consoles.
Did we lose all of our creativity?
I still find the greatest console reveal of all time being the fucking 360 when he lifted that fucking cardboard off of it and showed the original console and just everybody lost their shit.
Yeah, why isn't the PlayStation 5 controller the battering like the PlayStation 3 was one time at an E3?
What is it?
Do you not know about the PlayStation 3 battering controller that was the original PlayStation 3 controller at E3? 1 second.
Oh, you're gonna have to show me.
Oh, it's so good.
I'll be honest, I'm not impressed with the controller. I think it looks ugly. I really do. I think the controller truly looks ugly.
I feel like both Microsoft and Sony are just
what in the hell?
Hard failing on this.
That was the PS3 controller at E3 when it was first unveiled.
Oh my god, no!
Also, 1 second, let me get this on stream because
oh my god, no!
There.
That is straight cringe.
I was not kidding when I said that is a fucking batarang. You throw that controller, it comes back and smacks the shit out of you.
And yes, I'm making it that big on the stream.
Yes.
Oh my god, that is awful.
The battering.
We almost had that, and then they went, no, let's not do that. Let's just give you the same controller we've been giving you for the last, 2 years.
I do have to appreciate one thing on the new controller, though. The fact that they're trying to implement actual triggers rather than buttons that kind of have trigger reaction.
Yeah.
I mean,
I really appreciate that.
I mean, it would be nice, if we didn't have, so much touch on a controller.
Yeah, I don't understand what they're going for here. I mean, I've played the PS4 for a little while now since I borrowed my cousin's PS4, and I have not used the touch once.
Well,
It's
my
just a
biggest
big button.
complaint with that is the same complaint I had when Steam decided their controllers needed the touches for the sticks. It's like, okay, why are we going touch base instead of, controller?
Yeah.
Touchpad is more or less just turned into a giant start button. That just takes you into a menu. That's all it's turned into at this point.
For right now, but the simple fact that they're bringing it over to the PS5 kind of makes me think they have better plans for it, and by better, I mean not so good plans.
By better, you mean this is gonna fucking flop?
I mean, don't you love 6-axis?
What?
The 6-axis, the PlayStation 3 controller movement.
Fuck is that? God damn it! Do I have to look more shit up now?
No, it's the motion control built into the PlayStation 3 controller. Like, the PS3 controller was literally a motion control that you had to move around for shit in early PS3 titles.
Oh yeah. I remember that because they had the little
The
tech
balancing
demo.
and Uncharted.
No. The tech demo in the PlayStation where you had these little creatures inside the remote and you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody likes that.
The same thing that everyone complains about the Switch controllers.
Yeah. Look, it doesn't feel good. No matter what you're doing, it doesn't feel good.
It's just
Ever.
because no one can fucking nail it. That's the problem. Every single time it's been implemented, it has failed.
No, a lot of it isn't so much that, it's that, the console makers decide they want to cram that down everyone's throat instead of letting everyone play around with it.
Yeah.
Case in point, I brought up the Switch. Odyssey, you cannot turn off the motion controls. You can cut them back, but you cannot turn them off.
Yeah. Anyway, anything else from the PlayStation 5 reveal before we move on to a little bit of a supplement article?
No.
All right, then. There was a bit of confusion about Miles Morales, the video game, on whether it was a full game or not. As it turns out, Insomniac has said that it is a standalone game.
It's like a standalone expansion, right? Kind of similar to the way Enemy Within was.
More like Uncharted Lost Legacy. Since it is new content, or it is a new story instead of kind of a remix of a story like Enemy Within is.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like, there will be remix content, but the best part of this is in this tweet, and you'd have to go to Twitter for it, is Insomniac replying to someone saying it's a standalone game, and then someone replying to Insomniac going, source? Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Sir, this is Insomniac Games' actual fucking Twitter account. This is the source, dumbass. Sir!
Idiot. Just have to say it.
Yeah. I think he was doing it for memeing purposes, but yeah. It's probably what's going to be... I hope they do the Uncharted Lost Legacy pricing of it as being like just $40, since it will probably be a remix of New York with snow in a winter season. Miles with a different power set, and just hey, we're reusing assets here because it's only been like 2 years maybe since we wrapped development on the original Spider-Man. We haven't had that long.
I'm on Twitter right now going through, and dear God, they have copy and pasted almost. Oh my God! Listen to this. One of it's from Daily Spider-Man PS4/PS5, and it says, "Thank you. The hype is real right now." And it's a picture of Miles, and underneath it is a comment from Insomniac Games. That is not correct. It is a standalone game, as our tweet says.
Look, I wish Insomniac could talk about it more, but they probably can't because it's not time for it yet. And since they're now owned by Sony, they can't do that. It's like, we want to tell people what the fuck's going on with this game. But can't do it yet. Gotta wait like 2 months.
Oh God, it's just there's so many of it's it's just so many copy and paste of this is this is a hang on, the exact copy and paste is it is a standalone game, yeah, over and over and over again.
All right. Anything else?
Nah.
All right, a little article that's kind of flown under the radar is apparently AT&T, who own Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, are looking to sell the studio off. For those that don't know, Warner Brothers Studios are the ones, or Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment is the collection of developers and studios like NetherRealm, Rocksteady, Monolith, TT Games, Avalanche Software.
We don't talk about Avalanche.
I was about that. Okay. I was like, wait, what did they do? Oh, that. Okay. Never mind.
We don't talk about Avalanche.
But they're looking for potential buyers, which probably explains why if Rocksteady's not done anything except like try to make an Arkham game and then it get canceled.
I would love it if Disney bought okay, I don't want Disney to have a fucking monopoly, but I would love it if Disney bought Warner Bros. Interactive just so that Disney would have the rights to make a Batman Arkham game. Since they own Marvel. Just kind of an extra fuck you to DC. Like, bitch, we can do it better than you.
I mean, Insomniac's already done it. It's called Spider-Man.
That's true.
I don't know. It's weird that my one hope is not EA. As long as it's not EA, it's fine. Don't sell to EA ever at all whatsoever. No.
If any of you were present for my last rant, if EA buys this, my rant will become much louder and much more aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
I despise that company with an unholy passion. I hope they burn in the flaming bowels of hell.
I have to actually step away real quick because I got to use the bathroom. So, Gawk, entertain the people, or you and Tommy entertain the people real quick. I'll be right back.
Shit, gotta put me on the spot. God damn.
Pretty much, yeah.
So how's the weather?
I mean, it's gonna about be the same weather for you.
You've had a lot of rain then?
not a lot.
Yeah, we've
Also,
had a good
why did
bit.
we get on the weather during, talking about video games?
He said to entertain, so I'm just.
Eh.
Oh, but I mean, like I was saying to him, I don't know. Did you chime in at all? Whenever I was doing my rant, like my massive rant the other day about EA.
No, because I don't even remember if I was around for it.
I don't think you were around. The rant that I had. I don't think he was around. I was just gonna tell him about it. It started. I don't even remember how we got on the topic of EA, but the second I got on the topic of EA, I lost my shit because we were talking about the fact that EA now owns the sole rights to NFL as a gaming company, and I'm like, why the fuck is it legal for an American company in America, in which we are trying to keep monopolies from being a fucking thing? Why is an American company able to have a monopoly over the fucking NFL? And I think it's absolutely bullshit.
I mean, you're not wrong, but we're talking about EA. Do we really expect anything good to come out of that?
Oh no, but I lost my shit, and it was just a whole 30. It was like 30 minutes or an hour of me just fucking so angry. And I specified in my rant, I was like, look, if you are working at EA and you're just trying to make games, this is not directed at you. This is directed at 1, the shareholders, and 2, the CEOs and the big bitches sitting on top fucking up our games. And that was my rant was purely about those assholes ruining our industry. I say our because I truly believe the customers are a huge part of the gaming industry too, because 9 times out of 10 it's a customer that becomes a major representative.
Anything else on Warner Brothers being sold off potentially before we head on?
Nope.
Nah.
All right, next up, Destiny 2 got a bunch of details from Bungie's live stream this past week, more or less detailing their next 2 years.
Cool.
More or less, we are looking at 3 major expansions in our future, 1 a year, more or less, with one coming out this year, which we call Destiny 2 Beyond Light, which is introducing a whole new damage set. I think it's Null. You're wielding dark powers from the darkness. That means something to someone who knows anything about Destiny lore, which is not me. So
I'll be honest, I lost all interest in giving a shit about Destiny after they killed my dude off.
I thought
Cade.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought that wasn't supposed to be a thing.
What, wielding the darkness?
Yeah.
Nope, it's now a thing. It's a thing you're going to be able to do this fall with Beyond Light.
Huh.
Because the darkness is here. Their pyramid ships or Dorito ships, whichever one you want to call them, are here and landing on planets, and you see them.
I mean, if I could trust that they could tell a story consistently good, then, I mean, I might be interested in the reason for that.
Yeah. Next year, we'll see the Witch Queen get released. That will be focusing on Savathun, who's an important person from the Taken thing in Destiny. And then the final expansion, which is only tentatively titled Lightfall, we only have a logo for, which is the the orb I can't remember the name of the orb. What's the name of the orb?
The Traveler.
The Traveler. The
that.
Traveler with one of the Darkness's ships, Dorito ships on top of it.
Jesus,
Like,
y'all play more
over top of it.
Destiny than I do. What the fuck, y'all?
I could not remember his name, the thing's name, for a second.
It has been a while since I have played Destiny 2 and actually paid attention to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
honest.
realize now I can't say that it's been a while since I've played Destiny 2, since we did do it on stream at once.
I'll be honest, the only reason I would pick up Destiny 2 again is if we decided as a group to just try to start Destiny 2 from the beginning and do the story and see how we like it. Otherwise, I don't think I'm going to pick it up again. Probably ever, because I don't fucking care. It's
Here's some interesting details about that are going to make that very complicated in the future, because first and foremost, they mainly detailed Beyond Light, which you're going to Europa to visit the, what is it called? It's the Deepstone Crypt, which is where all the robot race, not the Vex.
Exos.
The Exos, that's where the Exos are from. You're exploring that. You're dealing with some important fallen person I can't remember the name of offhand. There will be a raid with that. But another thing that is probably causing the cause contention is what they're calling the Destiny Content Vault. More or less, they have realized, oh, if we keep updating the game, it's going to take for us forever to update the game because we have a lot of things in the game at the moment. And it's only going to get bigger, and it's only going to get bigger for consumers and for our players. So they are cutting a whole swath of content from the game that is underplayed and not play, or just not, no one has interest in, taking it into the Destiny Content Vault to then bring it back out seasonally when it's been potentially reworked.
So in other words, oh, this story part that y'all don't seem to like, we're just gonna slice that out and we're gonna maybe give it to you later. Maybe.
For free, mind you. We'll bring it back out, like, updated.
But, okay,
It's just...
is that going to extend into the base game too?
That's a good question, because the base game is free to play without any of the expansions. So that's a damn good question.
Let me find the blog post that detailed that, because it showed what the shit.
Because, I mean, if it just deals with the expansions, then okay, cool, that's fine. That means they're actually going to spend a little bit of time on the expansions. But if they do it to the base game too, then that's going to kind of hurt the people that are playing free to play right now.
Yeah. I was trying to find a picture of what the directory looks like. There's the article. Here's what the directory will look like when Beyond Light ships, because they're doing this with Beyond Light this fall. There will only be Europa, the Cosmodrome, which they're bringing back from Destiny 1, and they're bringing back a bunch of stuff related to Cosmodrome from Destiny 1, because all of Destiny 1 is currently in the Vault 2. Because they're also going to bring back the Vault Glass raid for Destiny 2 reworked to reflect Destiny 2. And release that just for free for you to play for a season. The Cosmodrome, the Moon, the Tangled Shore, the Dreaming City, the European Dead Zone, and Nessus. That is all that will be on the directory in terms of the planets in visible locations.
I think that means they are not axing a good little chunk of the base story too.
Quoting directly from Bungie's article, the primary D2 content leaving the game and going into the Destiny Content Vault this fall are the destinations Mars, Io, Titan, Mercury, and Leviathan, and their supported activities. I don't know if that includes all of the campaign stuff, but their supported activities are getting dunked in the vault from all of these respective planets.
That sounds like a lot of shit for them to just be cutting out.
It does. I think Gambit's also... Like, the 2 game modes of Gambit are getting merged into 1 game mode because we're not dealing with that anymore.
The more they talk about what they're doing to quote-unquote fix the game, the less I fucking care to try. And that's the sad part, because when I played Destiny 1, it disappointed me, but the beginning of Destiny 2, when I first played it, was cool, and I enjoyed it. I just, Destiny's one of those games that if you don't have someone to play it with, it's gonna get boring real fast. And I didn't have anybody to play it with, so I didn't really try, and I guess I burnt myself out on it, and now the more they talk about it, the less I'm interested in trying to get back into it. It just sounds like they're just like, the only people playing are the people that are playing it already, that have been playing it, so fuck the possibility of new people. And that's not the way you should do things as a company with these types of games. Look at World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft is a prime example. They even went the extra step. Mind you, it didn't do too great at launch, but they even went the extra step of being like, look, if you want the authentic original experience, we took all of the original content and put it into its own thing. You can play the original the way it was meant to be played, and then you can come back over.
I heard.
Yeah, and then you can come back over and play the new shit.
Yeah, because they didn't make any quality of life changes on World of Warcraft Classic, correct? It's literally just the base game.
Just the base game. And I mean, I'm actually, I'll be honest, I'm kind of glad about that, because even though some parts of it are kind of crappy, it's definitely it's the same game. It's not like a rehash, or it's not like they went through and were trying to don't fix what ain't broke,
Also, just to clarify some things, since they are here, on all the plans I mentioned, this includes all PvE activities, including campaigns on those destinations. So more or less, all three, like the main campaign from the base game and the 2 from the first 2 DLCs, gone into the vault. So if you want to play the Red War, play it before September, if you care.
It just
and so that's all dumb. The base game content should stay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I get reworking the expansions. I get that. I would also get if they said, okay, we're going to rework the entire base game. Because at this point, they've probably got plot holes that they didn't foresee when they first started.
Yeah. There will only be 3 raids playable this fall, including the new one. So more or less all the Leviathan stuff into the vault, because that's where all the majority of the raids from the last couple years have been. So that's all in the vault. Exotics that were tied to destinations will be reworked so you can get them. So they are not going into the vault, and none of the gear you've earned will go into the vault either. So even if you had a piece of gear that was earned on a specific planet, that's not going into the vault. None of your gear is going into the vault. PvP map list will stay the same. That's not going anywhere. Game and Prime are being merged into one.
Sorry.
Also, give me 1 second. I need to talk about this real quick.
I don't know. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my ping is up way high for some reason. I don't even know why. That was apparently the original PlayStation 3 controller before they switched it. But I don't know. I've really lost interest, and I think Bungie is shooting themselves in the foot with this.
Yeah.
I really do. This feels like a really, really stupid decision. And I even despite the fact that, you know, even looking back and remembering the fact that I complained a lot about Destiny 1, I look back and I honestly enjoyed Destiny 1. And I feel like I would enjoy Destiny 2, but
Destiny 1 had a lot more problems than I'm willing to just turn a blind eye to.
Oh, absolutely. It had its issues, but I still enjoyed it.
Destiny 2, though, base game, I think they did right, and that's how they should have done a sequel.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're shooting themselves in the foot trying to manage game file size.
I feel like the biggest issue I had with Destiny 1 was they felt like they were a shooter even though they weren't. Because, I mean, yeah, they're a shooter, but they were an MMO before a shooter kind of deal with Destiny 1, and they had their priorities inverted.
Absolutely.
I feel like Destiny 2, they kind of nailed that a little better. But then, then with this, now it's like,
the only comparison I can come up with is they're shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Because it really does feel like they looked at their game and went, wow, that works. People enjoyed it. But they're not enjoying it anymore. Weird. It's almost like they completed that part. Well, we should cut that out. And that way, the people that have played it for years can play the new stuff.
Here's
but what about the people that
get out of this whole concept? Okay, why not at this point, if they're wanting to rework the planetary activities, why not branch the campaign off into its own instance? Where it's solely just the main campaign in one instance on its own, to where you still get the story.
And then make it to where the expansions are optional downloads, like they used to be in older games?
Well, not even so much that. They could still treat the expansions as, okay, well, every so often it's going to come into rotation.
Yeah.
And maybe that be the points where the different planets start showing back up for a little bit. But I think regardless, the base game should be there.
Yeah, the base game is the one thing that needs to stay, because that's gonna be what attracts new people. And I think that is an absolutely poor decision on Bungie's part.
Because quite frankly, to this, what I'm hearing is they are literally a battle royale mode away from being Fortnite.
More or less. Also, yeah. Yeah, I did go run the dog in because he got all up in a tizzy about something and was barking up a storm. I was like, no, shut up, get in here. Stop causing a scene.
It really doesn't make much sense for me. I can't understand. And I probably never will.
The reason I said exactly that is because of the simple fact of Fortnite having the clearly empty promise that they're going to bring Save the World to the free-to-play side.
No kidding. I've been waiting for fucking ever. You know they've made plenty enough money to come out of... they're not even in early access or whatever the fuck they're called anymore. So
no, I think now they're in beta.
Oh, God Almighty!
Yeah,
It
they only
it's-
spent 2 years in early access before they decide to change it to beta. But
this is just early beta.
Just a comment. I get the reasons on a technical front why they need to do this, because it is bloat at the moment. We can't get builds out fast and like efficient enough to actually test stuff without like having to deal with 12 million lines of code. If we can cut that down to like test better, that's something. But like,
I can see that too. But that, to me, that also feels like that is a fail on their side, and maybe instead of trying to sit down and rework Destiny 2, just scrap that, store those ideas up, and do a Destiny 3 where they can actually control it from the ground up, since now they're out from under Activision.
They actually addressed that in the stream, and they more or less said, if we were to go do a Destiny 3, we literally have to stop supporting Destiny 2 to go make that work.
So they're going to clutch onto this as long as they possibly can until it decides to die.
Since they went solo, they went, oh shit, we don't have the manpower to make a Destiny 3 and support Destiny 2. We kind of have to bite the bullet and just fix Destiny 2, I guess.
So, in other words,
there's no fixing it. Not if they decide to rip out every bit of the story to the game. At that point, what do they have? They have a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
They no longer have an MMO.
I feel like Bungie is in a catch-22 of, we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. We are trying to make the best of it. And I go, I applaud you for trying. It's not the best, but I applaud you for trying. Because this game is cursed. This franchise that Bungie has is kind of cursed at this point.
Yeah. It has no foreseeable destiny.
More or less. Any other thoughts before we kind of hit some high points from the PC gaming show? Because we're not going through all this. Not at this point. Not even if we weren't at this point.
I'm just gonna reiterate. I know we're very, very small. Very few people listen to us. But if anyone that is in any kind of contact with Bungie is listening to us, please explain to them how terrible this decision is for new gamers. This is absolutely shutting the door in people's faces and saying, nope, we only support the people that have been playing.
Yeah, because their New Light experience, because I tried out their New Light experience, which was their kind of relaunch with Shadowkeep, is more or less play the opening mission from Destiny 1 that they redid, and then get thrown into the tower and have fun figuring out the 5 million things we've just dropped on your lap.
Yeah.
Between all the quests and stuff, it's just like, oh, so much stuff.
Having both in hand, I felt like I kind of grasped everything from base Destiny 2. The New Light experience, no, even I got confused on it. Because it was one of those, it's like, oh, hey, you're in the game. Hey, look, here's your character. Oops, there you are. Now you're in with everyone else. Have fun.
They try to flow you through the different game modes and stuff, but it's like, after a certain point, it's just too much.
Yeah.
There's no proper progression. You're more or less just left on your own to just fuck about until you figure things out.
And that's a problem all on its own that already kind of pushed the door to. It just didn't lock it. I feel like you rip away everything that could possibly teach new players how to play the game. Yeah, you might as well have just locked your community base down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anywho, PC gaming show that aired earlier today. I guess just some highlights. Torchlight 3 is in early access. Elite Dangerous has a new expansion. Persona 4 Golden's coming to PC. It's already out right now for $20. You can buy it right now and play it. I encourage it outside of... I got the reminder on Twitter of, oh right, Persona 3, 4, and 5 all have kind of crappy shit, especially in light of certain events recently that have been like, yeah, maybe we should like stop taking some of this crap. And I'm just like, yeah, I wish this stuff wasn't in Persona games. To put it simply, they're not very progressive stuff. And the director of those games is kind of a shitbag. More or less. I'll leave it at that, because I don't want to dwell on it. Sound Mind, horror game coming from Nightmare House 2 people. None of the stuff I recognize. Glock, is there anything you recognize here that you want to highlight?
Let's see. Hang on.
That's
Sorry,
a lot of stuff.
I was doing something with my my Steam library. Let's see. Persona 4. Torchlight 3's out. Early access. I've played a little bit of the Torchlight stuff. It's decent. Sound Mind, no idea. Sci-fi, space, and survival combined in Icarus. I haven't seen it, but I might look into that because I've always loved space. So most space games catch my attention until I actually see them play. But more Godfall stuff. I don't give a fuck. Remnant from the Ashes. I've seen a little bit of that. It's free to play if you have Xbox Game Pass for PC.
I know that. I think
so. I would be willing to try it out. And with Game Pass for PC, if you're paying for Xbox Ultimate, you get all of the DLCs and stuff that come out with it as well. So it might be worth checking it out. I'll be honest, the Mafia remake is, as far as I know, it's Dauntless. Reason to actually return to Dauntless.
Yeah.
So
it just makes me want to play Monster Hunter. I'll be honest, just wants to make me play Monster Hunter.
It has its own things that make it a bit different. I thought the same thing at first too, but that it does make its own thing here and there.
It's not cross-platform, is it?
I think Dauntless is cross-plat. I think. At least switch to PC, I think. Maybe.
I don't remember.
I think it is.
I think it is, because didn't you play it on PC?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I know it is. That might be a good reason to, pick that one up.
Yeah.
No idea what Twin Mirror is. New World. Yeah, it's a multiplayer game. Surgeon Simulator 2. That's gonna be fun. I played the original Surgeon Simulator, so that's gonna be fun, and it's gonna give YouTube a breath of nostalgic air for a bunch of people. Escape
Is that
from
what we're
Tarkov.
calling that, by the way?
I'm calling it that. I'm calling it that because I watch a bunch of those guys. Jacksepticeye is one of my favorites, and I do watch him, and it'll be fun to see him go back to his roots, because I feel like Surgeon Simulator is one of the games that really got him where he is today.
I feel weird because most of the people I watch on YouTube now are both kind of not video game related. It's everything else but video games. Video games is like the least amount of things I watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I'm in that same kind of boat, but not by as much.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of roughly half and half concept.
Plus, I think the video game people I watch, I don't think anyone's super popular outside of like John, but I watch him on Twitch and like Game Explain because they do new stuff. But I think everyone I watch like game stuff for, I just watch them on Twitch.
I love the fact that everyone in the comment section talking about this show is like, we all love Persona, don't get us wrong, but if the biggest part of your show is a 10-plus-year-old game getting a port to PC, your
That
show's
leaked, like,
kind of
5 days
shit.
later, or 5 days earlier.
Yeah, and they're like, your show's kind of shit. But Outlast Trials looks like Outlast. Ooh, another Outlast. Yay. And Gloomwood looks, I want to say exciting, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I'm hoping. Well, there you go.
All right, I just mainly want to hit it for Persona 1 as the resident Persona fan. I'm like, oh, hey, cool, I can play Persona 4 Golden finally without having to get a Vita. Yay! I just wish, because I read through an article pointing out all the crap, and I'm just like, I block it all out. Because I'm just like, it's all the bad writing in Persona. I just block it out and forget it. And just be like, I just want to focus on the good stuff, please. I think that guy is not directing another Persona game anymore. He's directing other stuff. So I'm like, okay, good. Maybe we can get a Persona game. It's just like, not any of that anymore. Please.
Oh, wow.
Anyway.
I didn't realize it, but Call of the Void for Dauntless has already been out.
It's been out for a couple days, hasn't it?
Yep.
Okay. I was about to say, Dauntless is updated on the Epic Game Store for me recently, so I'm like, that's probably it.
Yep. And apparently there's a code to grab some items because of the PC Gaming Show.
Alright, no tier list this week, because we might do something after the show at this point. I don't know. We've went long.
We've went long. Also, there's the link for that I was talking about in case Yuns want to.
I will bookmark that for later. So, releases! Oh, we got some releases to go through.
Yep.
So we're going to kick things off on the 16th with Cold Canyon for Xbox One and Darius Cosmo Collection Arcade and Console for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Daymare 1998 for PlayStation 4. Dead by Daylight Silent Hill expansion for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. I think it's actually like 2 characters on a map, probably.
I didn't know what the difference was. I was like, okay. Don't know if that's DLC stuff or if that's something else.
That's what it is, because they did the same thing with
Stranger Things.
Yeah, it was just 2 characters and a single map and a monster. That's what they're. Oh, I do wonder what the monster's going to be.
It's Pyramid Head. I know it's Pyramid Head.
Oh, why'd they have to go with the super cliche one? They could have gone with the headless nurses.
I don't know. Anywho, Descenders for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Desperados 3 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Disintegration for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Farming Simulator 19, Cavernland and Vicon for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and Spirit of the North for PlayStation 4 and Switch. On the 17th, Across the Grooves for Switch, In Harvey the Breakout, 10th Anniversary Edition for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. I Dream of You and Ice Cream for Switch, Session for Xbox Game Preview for Xbox One, and Timberman Versus for Xbox One. On the 18th, Claws for Switch, Airy Little Bird Adventure for Switch, Best Friend Forever for Switch, Destrobots for Switch, Endless Fables Dark Mirror for Switch, Hagoniwa Explorer Plus for Switch, Namco Museum Archives Volume 1 and 2 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, One Way Heroics for Switch, Plondball Call in Space for Switch, Ruiner for Switch, The Bard's Tale Remastered and Re-Snarkled for Xbox One and Switch? Does that say Re-Snarkled?
I believe so, yes.
It was a joke, because Bard's Tale was always really fucking funny.
Okay, I was just like, resnarkle? I am missing something here. What is this word?
The Bard's Tale, if you don't remember, is the game that the disc said that the disc said on the front, flip over for horrible image, and then if you flip it over, it's just you.
Oh, okay.
It's the video game that was constantly making fun of the player and everything, and it was such a great game.
All right. We also got Variable Barricade, new stage for Switch, Waking for Xbox One, and Working Zombies for Switch. On the 19th, we have Burnout Paradise Remastered for Switch. Why won't you remaster Burnout Revenge, you cowards? Cowards, I call you.
I need to load up Revenge because you told me about it before, and it makes me want to play it.
Burnout Revenge is really good.
They took out my favorite game mode for fucking Paradise, those bitches.
We also got Hard West Unlimited Edition, or Ultimate Edition for Xbox One. Radio Squad for Switch, Railway Empire Switch Edition for Switch.
Whoops. I thought I got rid of that.
Releases are hard.
I love that.
We also got the Academy for Android and iOS, the Coma 2 Vicious Sisters for PlayStation 4 and Switch, and The Last of Us Part 2 for PlayStation 4. Oh,
nope.
I heard about. I was about to say I heard about a scene in that game, and I'm like, I don't need to see that. I don't need that. Nope.
Just keep going.
Sorry, but nope. On the 23rd, then, Esteto Corsa Competizone for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Conjure Andy's Repeatable Dungeon for Switch. Dead Cells The Prisoners Edition for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Dungeon of the Endless for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Bell Cell Arbiter's Mask Missions and Monsters for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch. Little Town Hero Big Idea Edition for PlayStation 4 and Switch. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch. That still confuses me that this thing is getting a remaster, but whatever.
Yeah, I know. I think that's confusing the internet.
Yep. The Insomath Case for Android and iOS, and Tower of Time for PlayStation 4. On the 24th, we have Ant Venture for Switch. And Ninjala for Switch finally launches. I think it got another demo time. And people liked it better.
I didn't get to try it either time.
I tried to try it, and it didn't work, and I was like, well, I give up. And that was the first time when it didn't work, most of the time. On the 25th, we have Blair Witch for the Switch, Borderlands 3, Bounty of Blood, A Fistful of Redemption for Xbox on PlayStation 4, Brigand, The Last of Renergia? Renergia for Switch. Collar X Malice for Switch. Control the Foundation for Xbox One, Crying Suns for Android and iOS, Grimshade for Switch, Keen, One Girl Army for Switch, Mr. Driller Drill Land for Switch, Poid Saga for Switch, Popeye Chapter 1 for Switch. I'm going with it. The Almost Gone for Switch, Android and iOS, The Forgotten Lands for Switch, Tower Time for Switch, Truck and Logistics Simulator for Switch, Urban Trial Tricky for Switch, and finally on the 26th, Dungeons 3 Complete Collection for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and Ion Fury for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch, Tower Time for Xbox One, and finally Urban Flow for Switch. And there should be a Pokemon DLC in there somewhere, but apparently
that didn't pull up through it, but yeah, it should have been on the 17th.
Apparently not.
What in the hell is Dungeons 3? Because I know that has been on the Xbox One game store for the longest fucking time. I thought it was an older game that maybe got, moved over to Xbox One, but there's a complete collection coming out now? What in the fuck is this game?
I don't know what to tell you.
I'm suppressing snarky comment. That's all I can say to that.
Mm-hmm.
It was released in 2017, 3 years ago. Apparently, it's you get to play as the bad guy. Maybe.
I don't know. But that takes us to quick draws, and mine is I finally got the entire Soto visual compendium up to date with cleaner cut images that cut out most of the text and most of the other crap that's on them for the most part. Some of them still have it on there, but oh well, it's still good. And this tracks every single Soto release to date with release dates and per box breakdowns and all the relevant accessories in those boxes, and is even up to date with the current blog post, which, by the way, if you want to know what to look forward to in the blog tomorrow, they revealed the Barotha Magia, the first monster that Arto fought. That was Mr. Abs.
Yeah.
They revealed that. That's the thing you can get now. And they have alternate stickers for it to be a good guy version. So look forward to seeing that tomorrow before we do Clue. Yeah, it's all up to date. I put it out on the Soto blog. I might tweet out a link at some point if anyone is interested in looking at this and using this to help keep track of Soto stuff. But
Worst case, if anyone's watching this and is looking at it, it is in the article list.
Yeah, that should be the one where you can just go in and look and not fuck with anything, I hope.
Don't put my quick draw on just yet.
I was about to say, I can't see your quick draw. It is not redirecting properly.
It's not.
Nope.
Because, someone should have done... 1 second. Yes. Someone should have done that.
Well, I tried to do short URL so it wouldn't give the surprise away. Okay.
Yeah, but we're here. It's fine. Not to mention, the only people that would give the surprise away to it would actually be us.
Oh, okay. So, all right, guys. So we're not the only ones. All of us gamers are not the only ones that decided to absolutely troll the living shit out of our next gen console designs. So KFC decided to troll the living hell out of PlayStation the day after PlayStation did their review. I just put in another link on the TGS live chat so that you can see an actual picture of the Kentucky Fried Console. KF Console, whatever. It is absolutely beautiful. And they have gone on record on Twitter when someone asked what the size was, and they said, is it gonna be what did they say? I can't find it now. Hang on.
About the size of one of their buckets, I assume.
Yeah, 2 chicken. I guess 2 chicken bites, and KFC came up and said 2 terabytes, but without instead of a Y, it's an I. So I love it so much. It's this. Oh god, the absolute just trolling.
Okay, just to throw this out there, they could just troll us with this, but what if they just released this as an air fryer?
Oh my god, the KF Console official air fryer.
Yes, because it literally looks like it's an air fryer.
That would be wonderful.
It's just an air fryer. I'm just like, you just made an air fryer. Why don't you just release that for like $60?
But the funny thing is, everyone has gone on record to be like, KFC, they could release this and it would probably be semi-successful purely as a joke console to, laugh with your friends, or maybe play as a practical joke. Be like, hey, so I bought you a console. So many people have gone on record and just been like, if KFC did this, it would just it would succeed just off of people being assholes to one another.
I mean, to be fair, you can play Skyrim on your Echo.
Oh yeah, you
Alexa.
can play
Alexa,
Skyrim
that
on Alexa.
works.
It is absolutely retarded, but yes, you can. But I thought it was beautiful. So take a look at the Kentucky Fried Console, or the KF console, depending on what you want to call it.
With its one and only game of Skyrim.
Actually, no. KFC Gaming has already gone on record to say that it will have exclusives, and apparently it's going to have its own Colonel Sanders dating game sequel, possibly.
You do realize that it could still have its own exclusive in Skyrim for the KF console.
Yeah, yeah.
God damn it.
So there you go, guys. If anybody is wondering what kind of console to get for this next console generation, PS5 and Xbox Series X are out. The KF console is in.
And that's the show, folks. And are we doing Rider Who?
I'm good with it.
I'll leave that up to you.
We can do a quick round. I've got 51. We can do like a few of them. Granted, it will be more rapid fire because you more or less only get a yes no. You get no clues.
I guess.
I'm probably gonna fail this.
Oh, that depends. I assume I'm sending the side stream.
I assume that's what you were gonna do.
Okay. Sending now. Oh, Bethesda would probably do it. They get paid for it.
Absolutely.
Probably. They definitely would do it.
So, just to explain what we're going to play real quick, this is Rider Who. What I'm going to be showing on stream through the side stream, assuming it functions, I hope.
Assuming I've got the right side stream one. Because VLC blanked out on it on me.
Am I gonna be getting a what?
Do you have VLC?
Do I have VLC? No, I do not.
Oh.
Give me a second. I might can do something to work for you.
You could stream directly to Discord.
I was about to say, I could just literally send you the OBS window.
You know.
Kind of like that.
Hey, that works. Yeah, that works for me.
Keep pushing to the side stream because, we kind of have that stuff set up in OBS.
Very true.
That will be far easier for me to do.
Yeah. I assume so.
I guess the smartest would be to transition this way.
Yeah, what you see
it's
on
set up there.
Yeah. What you see on stream is will be pictures of Rider or Rider adjacent or Toku adjacent material, and you have to answer the very simple question: is this a common Rider or is it not? You get 1 point for being correct, but I can give you an additional point if you can name me either the character or the series they are from. So you have 2 points per question. You are tag teaming this because I am not keeping track of 2 scores of individually.
Aw, you don't want to?
No.
It would be so much more fun.
No, because I want to see you try to work together. Also, I know for a fact you will do better than Glock because you will recognize some of this material.
Hey, hold up. That's not fair. I know a little bit about Kamen Rider, okay? I'm not completely inept with the Kamen Rider lore.
That's because there's some current material and also adjacent material that I have shared with Tommy. So
Yeah.
over the years.
Yeah.
So by mere exposure, Tommy has the advantage, which is why you're tag teaming this.
Cool.
So I assume we're all good.
Yep.
I assume so.
All right. So first up, who is this?
No, notice it was a who, not a is this a. Already breaking your own rules.
Yep. Well, this should be an easy one.
Yeah. Hence why I'm letting Glock take first swing at this one.
Glock, do you want to take a swing?
I don't know his actual name outside of Kamen Rider.
I mean, you got.
That's OG Kamen Rider, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, this is OG Kamen Rider. This is Ichigo in his literal original form.
Yeah.
Not even the form you see him currently, but this is just his OG form when he was blue instead of green.
I physically could not remember his name for the life of me.
To be fair, in his series, he's just called Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you want to hear more about this show, we're talking about it on Sundays for TGSR. We're on to being introduced to Nico this week.
Because, you know, reasons of legs being broke.
More or less.
Well, leg being broke. Let me rephrase that. Sounds like he was half dead or something.
All right, next up. Who is this?
I think you hit the wrong button.
Which one?
Wait, what do you mean I hit the wrong button?
Did you mean to add another point?
Yes, you got it was a writer and you got the name. So
okay,
that's
well
2
you
points.
you kind of goofed the first question. That's why I was wondering.
Yeah.
Is this Rider 2?
Do you okay, so more or less, do you think this is a Kamen Rider or not? Or several Kamen Riders in this case?
Isn't that the same armor style for Kamen Rider 2.0, whatever his name is?
If you mean Nigo, who looks exactly like Ichigo, then yes.
I am talking to Tommy. I am talking to Tommy, my partner. Okay. I am trying to work together here.
Okay.
I have no faith in myself with this one.
Yeah.
I uber want to say no, but at the same time I'm like,
I'm not even sure if you've seen the material this is from. I have.
This looks like Kamen Rider 2.0 because he has the cape, and OG Kamen Rider didn't have the cape. I think.
Except for this is a color formation of Sentai Team.
Yeah, I think Glock may be missing the fact that there are 5 people here in color-coded armor.
Well, yes,
That's why I'm really wanting to say no.
But that is the exact armor, though. Why would they?
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
would they rehash the exact same armor for a separate show?
I mean,
I'm
lack
leaving this
of
up to you.
resources.
I'm leaving this up to you. I'm letting this decision be yours because I want to say yes and 2.0, but I am so leaving it up to you.
I want to say no.
No. So we have a yes and we have a no. Do we have a solid guess on where this is from or who these people are?
No.
Nope. That was a definite nope.
Well, good news. You're both right.
What?
Both a writer and a Sentai, because it's a common Sentai Go Rider from the Go Rider special associated with X8.
What?
Yes, it's a thing that exists. They merged Sentai and Rider into one thing for a special. By the way, one of these is Emu in the special for reference from X8.
Oh, okay. At least we got a point.
Yeah.
Wait. If we were both right, can we get 2 points? Because
That's not how that works.
No, you get collectively 1 point because you somehow managed to get it both right and wrong.
That's why I was like, I feel like that's a no, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't honestly know, because I've seen some dumb stuff happen.
Alright, next up. Who is this?
okay. Is that is not
I feel like I'd leave this one in your hands there, Clark.
I don't think that's a rider. I think that's one of the evil guys from the Amazon, like the Amazon, like the newer one.
The Heisei one.
Yeah, I think that's one of the bad guys, so I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna say that's where I think it's from. I will take the shot in the dark and possible loss on this one.
Well, you are correct. This is technically not a rider, but it is not one of the Heisei Amazons. This is just a dark version of Showa Amazon.
Huh.
What the hell is Pachinko Kamen Rider?
It's a patchy slot Kamen Rider game that features dark versions of the original 7.
Oh, okay. I thought we were just going off of shows. Okay.
No, I told you rider adjacent material and Toku adjacent material. I'm pulling from a lot of sources. If I just did show stuff, this would be easy.
This is gonna be disastrous.
Exactly. So next up, who is this? And is he a writer?
No.
Any input from you on this, Tommy?
That looks more like Ultraman to me.
Okay, I feel like on that note, we're probably both in agreement on the no part of it.
Okay. But do you know who this is?
Oh, I feel like I do, but this is gonna hurt when you tell me, because I don't have anything I want to just be like definite on.
I don't know who it is because I know for a fact it's not Ultraman. It's just got that sort of style. I don't know who it is.
So we got a no, and we have a I have no idea. Maybe an Ultra. Is that our official guess?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. This is technically not a rider, but it's not an Ultra. This is Shadow Moon from Black and Black RX, and also that One Decade movie we watched. You know, All Riders?
I told you I was gonna be mad when you said it.
Yeah, a different
'Cause
version
I
of him shows up there, and it's the same bad guy.
I couldn't think of his name. I was like, I know it has something Moon, but I could not think of it at all, and I was like, God.
Anyway, next up. Who is this? And are they a writer?
Oh, really?
I'm gonna say no, but I'm going purely off of looks because I have no idea who this is.
Oh my God. You would throw the curveball like that to him.
Yeah, yes, I would.
I
Just
would.
in this form, just for reference.
Okay. We treating it as just this form or this character?
This character pre-twist.
Okay. So then, no. Glock's right on that.
Yep. Would you care to inform him and the audience who this is?
This is Machine Chaser.
Yes! From Kamen Rider Drive, who is in fact a writer, but not in this form. He is a writer pre this form and then after this form.
Yep. Pre this form, he's Proto Drive. Post this form, he's Chaser.
Okay.
Yep. That's why I was like, oh, you would throw this curveball.
Yeah. Alright, next up. Is this person a writer? If you grew up in the 90s like me, you will probably recognize this.
Yeah. No. Yes.
So we got a yes from Glock. Tommy?
I'm kind of leaning to no, though. And Glock super didn't sound confident on that either way.
So what is the consensus?
I have no idea who it is, regardless. So
I'm gonna stick with yes because I feel like you're screwing with us at this point.
you have no idea what I have in store for you through this.
that's why I'm sticking to the no at the moment.
Well, we gotta have a consensus.
I know.
You get rock, paper, scissors for this.
Yes, because that will so actually work.
I want to stick with yes. I really do.
Then I'll let you take the fall for this one.
I will take the fall for this one if I am wrong.
So, any guess on who this is?
Not a damn clue.
Nope.
Well, Glock, I'm sad to inform you, you should have trusted Tommy, because this is not a writer. This is just Digimon from Digimon.
I'm just gonna assume that the silence is just him being...
If you've seen the first season of Digimon, this is one of the main Digimon, so...
I feel so stupid because I watched Digimon as a kid.
Did you watch the one where they were in Tokyo for most of the season?
I don't know. Most of Digimon has become kind of a blur to me because it's been so long. I should have known that this wasn't a rider. I should have at least recognized it.
Alright, next up. Is this person a writer? It's one person, it's just a front and back image.
I wish I could zoom in. I hate that. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes, and it's from the third Shoei movie, third Shoei era show.
Shoei?
or whatever.
Shoei?
Whatever.
Showa.
Showa. Yeah. Yeah.
Showa. And I assume you're talking about X then.
Yeah. Wait.
The third show is X. Unless you're talking about V3.
I think I'm talking about V3.
Okay, so you think it's from V3. Tell me, what is your opinion on this?
I almost want to say no, but if I say yes with Glock, I would be more leaning towards like Black and Black RX.
I never watched Black and Black RX, so I don't even know remotely what those riders look like.
You were with us when we did Decade.
I don't remember a damn thing from Decade.
Well, that's not helpful.
Well,
There's a good thing I tag teamed you on this.
Yep, because that just automatically shifted that one a little harder.
Yep.
I don't know, though. I can't... It looks too close is why I'm kind of in that limbo area.
The only reason I said V3 is because it's still got the very, very hardcore antennas. And
That are very floppy in the show.
yeah, and the other shows, they kind of try to stray away from the antennas at least a little bit. So I was assuming maybe it's just Kamen Rider V3 because I know Kamen Rider 2.0, whatever the hell that one's called, and Kamen Rider V3 all have basically the same model with slight differences.
Well, it's Ichigo for the original. Nigo, it's not 2.0. In V3, which just to tell you right now, V3 does not look like Ichigo and Nigo.
Oh.
He is a very different design.
Okay, well then maybe I'm wrong. I'll go with Tommy and say Black then. But wait, didn't we just see Black?
No, it's not
No, we didn't.
Black or Black RX. I can tell you that. I'm more
We did
thinking that would be
Shadow
the
Moon.
show kind of deal.
We did Shadow Moon, who's a series. Bear in mind, character or series. If you can get in the ballpark of the series, I'll take it. Or at least the source of the material.
What was the 5th show in the Showa era? I don't know timelines of the
Stronger. 5th show or 5th rider? Because that's a completely different conversation.
show because I feel like this is
5th
probably...
show stronger.
I don't remember. Tommy, I'm leaving guessing the show up to you. I really don't remember. I've seen that model before, but I don't remember where.
So the consensus on yes or no is yes. I assume.
I kind of want to say no. But like I said, at the same time, I'm like, sure, what the heck, we'll say yes.
Yes, and you want to say it's from Black RX?
Yeah.
Well, this is a rider, but it is not from Black and Black RX. This is actually from a manga. This is Kamen Rider Gaia. From Kamen Rider Eve, Master Rider Gaia.
You are pulling from all ends of the spectrum, and this is not fair to us.
The reason I was kind of leaning more to no is because it looks like there's more monster attributes than there is riders. That's why I was like,
Yeah. Well, the problem is, if I pull from Phase 2, Tommy will get them every time.
Pretty much. I mean...
So I would have to pull from Phase 1 in Showa. But if I just pull him from phase 1 in Showa, it's more or less a yes every time. Because there's nothing there that would trick you. I have to go deep to trick you.
Okay.
For instance, is this a rider?
What? I want to say no. I feel like this is almost like the writer's version of like the Great Saiyaman. Kind of like I mean, obviously the Great Saiyaman was a Super Saiyan, but what I'm saying is like the idea of, oh, this is just a hero kind of bearing the same name, but he's not the same. So maybe something like a Rider Man.
Okay. So it's not a rider, but it's more in line with Rider Man. Tommy, what is your opinion?
I kind of have to at least agree with Glock on the no, but I have no idea on the other part, so we can go with what he said.
Okay, so this is a no, and you're saying it's Rider Man, I guess, or Rider Man adjacent.
It's some kind of like a Rider themed hero, but not quite Rider.
Well, you're close. This is not a rider. This is actually a parody rider. This is Kamen No Rider.
Oh my god.
He actually appeared in Overquartzer, imitating Hongo.
Sweet Jesus.
See, you kind of got lucky on that one because I haven't watched Overquartzer.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't show up like this. He just shows up wearing, like, Hongo's outfit.
To be fair, that wouldn't be too much more different.
True. Anyway, next up. Is this a rider?
No.
Tommy, your opinion?
I want to hear why Glock said no.
Unless there has been a sudden shift in design aspect of every Kamen Rider on the planet, and this Kamen Rider suddenly doesn't have a belt, this isn't a Kamen Rider.
Well, there are riders without belts.
I have not seen a single fucking rider without a belt.
Okay. Tommy, your opinion?
I kind of feel like I want to agree with him on the no.
Okay.
As to who, I have no idea.
So, no idea, but a no? Well, I hate to break it to you, but this is a rider, and it's a main rider, because this is Kamen Rider J.
Who the fuck is Kamen Rider J?
He's the last of the three Showa film riders that are technically Heisei riders. He got his own movie in the 90s when Rider wasn't on TV between Black RX and Kuga. Also, he can grow big. He's the guy that grows big in all the crossover movies and then gets, like, punched out.
Why does he not have a belt?
Because he doesn't have a belt.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Ryuki also not Ryuki, crap. I knew which one I meant to say, and now I've lost it.
Kuga?
Piss.
No,
Never
no.
mind. I can't remember the one I was talking about. Hibiki. Doesn't Hibiki also not have a belt?
He has a belt, but it's not his transformation device. He transforms with a tuning fork. His belt is mainly just to hold his drum that he puts on giant monsters to beat them to death using music.
Alrighty.
No, I knew when I said Ryuki, I was wrong. Way wrong.
Yep.
That's why I was like, wait a minute, stop.
Alright, next up. Who is this? And are they a writer?
Oh, fuck off. I'm letting Tommy take this one. I took the death shot last time.
See, this is where the fun tricks come in, because I don't know this little spot either.
But he looks so similar to the last guy.
And I feel like that's such a trap.
Are you sure?
No. Screw it. I'm gonna say yeah.
Any guess on who?
I'm gonna assume that since the last one was Jay, probably one of the other movie ones.
You know what? I'll give you the point for that one, because this is Zeno. He's from the movie that came out before Jay. And yes, there's net movies that make jokes about the fact that they look practically identical.
I would hope so.
Alright, next up. Who is this? And are they a writer?
What? Isn't that from one of the...
Use your words, Clock.
Finish the thought.
That was
it out.
like one of the sprites from I'm not totally confident. Kiva, maybe? I know there were sprites in one of them, and that's very clearly a vampire. So I want to say no, and
I'm at least in the agreement with no.
I don't remember which show it is, if it was Kiva or... Weren't there sprites in Deno too?
Keep in mind, Toku adjacent. We've already had Digimon in here once.
Yeah.
Don't hang up on Ryder.
Maybe you need to pay more attention to what the design is underneath it all.
It looks like an A. Can we get another picture of it?
I do not have another picture of it at the moment.
It looks like a sprite out of a semi-old video game.
You're on the right track. So it's a no, and like just
I
something
have
from
no
an old video
idea.
game.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you credit for getting it on a video game, because this is Frost Ace from SMT Imagine.
What the hell is SMT Imagine?
That's a Shin Megami Tensei MMO.
Yay!
By the way, that's just a Jack Frost in a costume. I was wondering if you pick up on the fact that this is just Jack Frost in a costume.
It really, the Jack Frost that I know, that doesn't look like him, but...
Alright, next up. Who is this?
It's the Great Saiyaman!
Yeah, that's just the Great Saiyaman from Dragon Ball.
When he started laughing, and then the image finally came up on mine, I'm like, well,
I was just fucking talking about him earlier. Oh my god.
All right.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
So next up, who is this in our layer rider?
No. That looks like a form of Ultraman. That head model is almost unmistakable. The eyes and the pointed nose type thing that goes all the way down the mask, that's Ultraman.
All right. Do you want to specify an Ultraman?
Fuck no, I don't know enough about Ultraman. I just know what Ultraman looks like.
Tell me your consensus?
no.
Defer to Glock on this.
Yep.
Well, you get 2 points for this because yes, this is an Ultra.
That head is absolutely unmistakable. Anytime you see those eyes and that line going all the way down the helmet, that's Ultraman.
This is Ultraman Orb Sky Dash Max from Ultraman Fusion Fight, which is their version of Gamba Rising. I tried to find the most Rider-looking Ultra design.
Yeah, no, that head is unmistakable. There's I saw the picture and immediately went, oh, nope.
All right, next up. Who is this? And are they a Rider?
That's not what I think it is it?
What do you think it is?
Is that a...
Hold on, I want to hear what Glock says first.
I mix up my riders a lot. I'm not sure if I'm thinking of the right rider, but is that like an evil version of Kuga?
Okay,
To that.
so if my thought on this is right, then he's not that far off.
He's not. Nope. He's close. Might be off by a series, though.
I don't remember which rider it is. It looks... The other rider is red. The main rider is red.
Oh, okay, so this is what I thought it was. Okay.
So, Dolly, do you want to give your opinion on what this is? Because I'm pretty sure you know what this is.
Can you correct me? Because
you said it was off a series, and that made it click then. This is another Agito, ain't it?
Yep, this is another Agito who's in fact a Rider.
Another Agito?
Yes, this is Kamen Rider Another Agito from Kamen Rider Agito, the series after Kuga.
Oh. I am right on the Kamen Rider that I thought this looked like, right, though? I might have got the name wrong, but...
There's no other Rider in Kuga.
No. What I'm saying is like the red Kamen Rider with the same sort of mask, kind of.
Probably.
If I'm not mistaken, Kuga and Agito are pretty close in looks, so yeah, I could see you saying that.
All right, next up. Who is this and are they a Rider?
Yeah, I was right. Kamen Rider Agito, he had a red mask. Yeah. But his normal was green. Okay, sorry. I'm going back. Isn't that the same? What?
This is a goof one. Just to tell you right now, this is a goof one. And Tommy will know this is a goof one if he remembers.
It looks like the same person that we just saw.
Oh. Okay, I get it.
I put this in here, so.
I get it.
Yeah.
It took me a second, and then I saw the one detail that actually does no, this is different, Glock.
What am I missing?
Do you see something on the chest?
Because, quite frankly, I forgot name was right. If you'd asked me series that it came from, I would have been wrong. Because I would have actually flipped these two around.
I don't know. I guess the crystal looking thing in the center of his chest, maybe?
Try the left of it. Well, your left of it. It might be hard to see on the Discord stream.
It kind of is hard to see,
stripes.
period.
The stripes on the pecs?
That's actually text. That's a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to say what this is, Tommy?
This is, again, another Agito.
Yeah, this is not a rider technically, because this is another Agito, as I like to call him, Double A Agito from Kamen Rider Geo. They reused the Agito suit for a monster suit in that series, and just put year on it in Agito, or Agito and year on the pecs.
Yeah.
I had to throw it in here because they threw in another Agito.
And that was the thing with all the another riders in Geo, was the date stamp and name were somewhere on them. That's why when you said about it being a goof, I was like, wait, it does look the same. Oh, I see it now. Never mind.
All right, next up. Who is this? And are they a rider?
No?
I mean, at least say it with a little more confidence there, Glock. No.
Be confident in your answers, Glock. Trust your gut.
My gut's telling me it's fucking confused. I want to say no, because this feels more on par for, like, some kind of a weird Sentai.
I'm on the no, but not for that reason.
No.
It feels like more of like a robotics, a more like mech suit themed Sentai type outfit.
I feel like a little closer to home for some reason. But I don't know what.
You're thinking Power Rangers? I haven't.
Jason?
I was about to say I haven't followed them super closely, but I know for a fact I'm pretty sure that's not a Power Ranger. Not unless it's a Power Ranger with some kind of upgrades that it's wearing over its suit, but even then, I don't remember.
The reason I'm more kind of leaning towards that is because it kind of looks like one of the, like, many different 90s style cartoon Sentai replicas that we had over here.
Well, we did have a number of those.
I just don't know which one is kind of the thing. I can't narrow that down.
Yeah, I'm saying no, but I have no idea.
That's kind of where I'm at too.
Well, this is actually not a rider, but it's not one of the knockoff shows we got in America. This is actually a Japanese tokusatsu. This is R0 from Tomika Hero Rescue Force.
I figured there was some things there that I was like, the stuff I've noticed and probably would give it away, but I have no idea.
Also, his name is on his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering if you would just guess that and just be right. But yeah, it's actually Sentai-like, because they are a team. Also, this guy's played by Ichigo's actor. Alright, next up. Who is this? And are they a writer?
No.
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 Okay, so nose. Nose. Any idea who this is or where they're from?
The way he's standing reminds me of like those old school video games where it would show the full body of the character and then put the words on the right beside him.
Mm-hmm.
The way he's standing, so it's I'm gonna say it's from an old video game. No fucking clue what though.
Sure, we'll go with that because I probably do, but I don't right offhand. For some reason, I feel like I should.
Well, you are correct. This is not a rider, but it's not from a video game. This is Blue Beat from Juco B Fighter, which got partially adapted into Big Bad Beetleborgs in America to capitalize on the Power Rangers craze.
Alrighty then.
Alright, next up. Who is this?
That is an awful picture.
Fortunately, pictures like this are hard to come by.
Tommy, you want to take the reins?
Sure, pass me the easy ones. No, I'm kidding. Oof.
Oof, indeed.
Oof.
I was about to say, do you notice anything about the suit that is helping you or hindering you at all?
I'm gonna chime in again for a second. Just.
I feel like if it's the thing I'm noticing, Glock shouldn't have just handed it over.
I kind of want to say yes because it looks like he's. I am hanging my entire understanding of Kamen Rider on the belt. Okay, so I kind of want to say yes because of the belt, but I
because that
don't
Uber
know.
looks like the Forza driver.
It kind of does, but that's not an outfit that I remember.
I feel like if it's a yes, it's from the Forza stage show.
Hmm? So you're going to say yes from stage show?
I'm saying yes.
I say yeah.
Well, Tommy, you're bang on where this is from, because this is from the Force stage show.
I handed it over to you, not even looking at the belt. I was looking at the outfit and just going, yep, nope, not my area.
This is Boot. He is technically Soul, aka like what Nadeshiko was made of. That like splintered off and became its own thing in the stage show. There's, I don't think, any footage of the stage show, so we only have like this image to go off of what the fuck this is. We don't even have context within the stage show of what the fuck this is.
Oh wow.
Yeah. The bad thing about stage shows, since some of them are canon technically because they're post-series, we don't know information about them. Anyway, next up. Is this a rider?
No.
Just no. Just outright no.
Just no. Unless Glock has an argument going the other way, I think that's a no.
I want to say no, but those eyes are like your super typical Kamen Rider eyes.
And your stereotypical any kind of cartoon hero in a mask kind of eyes, though.
Yeah,
you kind of can't just base it off of that.
That's fair. I will rely on Tommy
Tommy can take the fall for
I
this
have
one.
I have no idea from what though.
So no idea. Well, it is a no, as this is Zero from Apocalypse Zero. It's an anime.
Never seen it.
It just neither have I. I just pulled I pulled a bunch of these off the here's a bunch of references to writer page on the wiki. That is a wonderful data mine of things I can throw on here.
I love knowing the fact that you don't even know what some of this is.
Yep.
Really?
So next,
Really?
so next one, what is this? Who is this and where are they from?
Is that not just a midget? Oh shit.
No.
His name just disappeared as soon as I went to say it. It's just a sprite version of fuck me.
I'm pretty sure I know what you're thinking of.
Let me fuck me.
Yeah. Tommy, do you have any idea while Glock slowly crawls towards an answer that has ran away from him?
The only thing I know on this one is to run after that answer and maybe hope that it's right, because
There is a clue in this picture.
It's the oh god damn it.
I assume it is a video game that the main character starts with a V. Need a little hint and a go-go?
Please. I've fucking seen this before.
You're thinking of Beautiful Joe, correct?
Yeah.
I was gonna
Beautiful Joe?
say, I kind of feel like if you're right on there being a hint in it, then that's a no, not a writer kind of deal from me.
Yeah. So no Beautiful Joe?
Yeah.
Well, you're close enough to be right, because this is technically not Beautiful Joe. This is Postman from Wonderful 101, who may or may not also be Beautiful Joe. Because the main heroine from Beautiful Joe is also in this game as herself, so this is probably him too.
I saw the fucking helmet and I was like, that's to him.
By the way, the wonderful W is in the background. I figured you would pick up on that.
Listen, my brain, I can't explain to you how it works, okay? It picks up on some shit, and then other shit, it goes, hey, I know that, and then I go, oh, good, where from? And it's like, you think I fucking know?
Alright, next up. Is this a writer?
No.
No.
So we have a no from both of you. Do you have a guess?
A superhero TSA commercial.
That is an oddly specific answer.
Yeah. But you know what? I don't have anything better, so whatever.
Well, unfortunately, your weirdly specific answer is in fact wrong, because this is a goof one. Because this is just some clock from Pretty Cure.
Okay.
For reference, Pretty Cure is the series that airs before Rider and Sentai with Superhero Time and is more aimed towards girls.
Alrighty.
Yeah, don't worry. Then we'll do 2 more. So next up, is this a rider?
Glock, I'm leaving the ball in your court, and when you screw it up, then I'll pick up the pieces. Because I only feel like that's right.
I'm gonna go with yes. I really wish I could fucking zoom in on the picture. Yeah.
But you got the Twitch stream to zoom in on.
I'm gonna say yes. And
Tag Tommy for the answer on who this is.
yeah.
So Tommy, who is this?
This is Ghost. That's.
This is in fact.
Which form's that though? That's not Goemon, is it?
Nope, this is Shakespeare form.
Okay, that's what I was
From
thinking.
Gum Rising.
It was not Goemon.
The only reason I knew to say yes was because the belt looks familiar. Because I've seen y'all pass around photos, so I was like,
To be fair, haven't you seen a little bit of Ghost also?
No.
Oh, I thought you had.
Nope, I've seen a little bit of Drive. I have not seen a single episode of Ghost.
All right, last one for tonight. Is this a rider?
That looks like someone's poor attempt at a Megazord cosplay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Are you really though, Tom?
Well then. I feel like I'm gonna go with a no on that because to me it looks more like a Sentai design.
All right.
I'm gonna grab onto Tommy's shirt and yep, going wherever he goes on this one.
So a no.
I wouldn't begin to know which.
So you're just gonna guess a Sentai series?
Yeah.
It's somewhere out there. Well, unfortunately, this is not a Sentai series, but it is not a rider either. This is Ryu Kendo from Maden Senki Ryu, another Toku series from Japan. That actually is sponsored by Capcom. His gimmick is keys, and he has a blade that kind of looks like a keyblade. So technically, he wields a keyblade.
I didn't need that. I did not need that connection.
Well, you did good. At 31 points, you've almost caught up to Glock's solo on Fate Grand Order.
Hey. That's not fair. That's not fair.
To be fair, putting the two of you together worked out pretty well.
I know enough about Kamen Rider to be able to semi-guess yes or no and recognize specific quirks. So I'm able to disdain whether it's a yes, that's a Kamen Rider, or
Also, Inception because you switched to the intermission screen.
yeah.
Also, why is that there? That wasn't supposed to be there.
But I know enough to get me through. That's about it. Like I've picked and chosen my shows for Kamen Rider. But I think we can all agree that Kabuto is a piece of shit.
I'll be honest, you did really pretty well for going into all this nonsense I threw at you.
Especially seeing as how, you know, I kind of was surprised that simple fact of you didn't stumble too bad with Chaser or Ghost right there.
I'm just proud that I was able to notice off the fucking bat that that was not a rider and that was Ultraman. Just
To be fair, it's hard to get a not very ultra looking design because ultras have a fairly consistent design scheme.
fair. That helmet is almost always the same. There might be a fin or something to distinguish it a bit more, but that frontal helmet design is almost always the same exact design.
Well, folks, there is still plenty left over for the next time we need this.
I'm so down to play this whenever we can, because this was fun.
And I might throw in some more stuff since you gave me ideas for things, and I'm like, maybe I will throw in some stuff.
Oh god.
Wait, hold on. What?
Since you may not be up on Power Rangers, I'm like, oh, maybe I can throw in some Sentai Power Ranger stuff, and you wouldn't recognize it directly off the bat.
Whoa! Hang on a second. Let's be reasonable here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tommy.
Don't worry, I already compensate for that. There is one Sentai thing in there already.
I mean, to be fair, you already know that I've not been focused on Sentai. I know its existence, but that's about as far as I go with it.
See, that's the only way to play this game, is to play it with people who have limited exposure. But this also gives you exposure to other stuff that maybe you might be interested in, especially you watching at home. If you saw something that looked cool, just go look up the show. I'm sure someone has it subbed.
Unless it's like super obscure.
Honestly, Tamika Hero Rescue Force and Ryu Kendo are both subbed by TV Nihon fully.
This made me want to go back and try to watch Ultraman, to be honest.
I've watched all of Rube, and it's really good. That's the R/B one.
Mm-hmm.
Jeet is apparently really good as well, but Rube was the only series that's caught on with me. So, anyway, folks, that'll more or less do it for us tonight. Tomorrow, it's 4 more episodes of Ichigo with our last stock footage Hongo episode, and then a 2-parter, and then half of a 2-parter, because apparently they started to do 2-parters consistently now.
Yay.
Unfortunately, you're going to hear me rant about how bad wrestling looks in one of these episodes.
Doesn't surprise me.
Unfortunately, wrestling is a pet peeve of mine, where I'm just like, this wrestling looks like garbage. Why are these ropes so loose? What is happening? But depending on the average viewer goal goes, I guess I'll start off Ratchet and Clank Trilogy after I wrap up the Pokemon DLC next week at some point, I guess.
Maybe.
Because still in the middle of Custom Robo, and I don't know how much I have left on that.
And we also don't know how big the DLC is going to be.
It's very true. Yeah, anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Only thing I can think of is for everybody watching, if you have the money, Spore is on sale right now, and I bought it. I'm about to play it now.
Have fun creating a bunch of monstrosities.
Like, when I say it's on sale, I mean every single bit of Spore content is on sale together in a pack that's normally like $60 worth of content for $10.
It doesn't sound too bad for Spore, to be honest.
Not at all.
Anyway, that'll do it for Clock and for Tommy and for me. Good night, everybody. we'll see you next time.